They ain't
I'm
never
just
gonna
saying,
be no
listen,
black woman
it's just,
president in
it's,
America, dog.
but
I'm gonna
but
save you some time.
and that's what I'm
That's
kind of getting
never
at. It's like
happening.
I'm like, bro, like it is just that just might not be the case here. That just might
It's
that might be what it
that's what I'm
is
getting
here.
to. That's
And that's what I was getting
that's
to.
what
I
it
was like,
is.
and I think for a time, and I think for a time that black men accepted that. And to have a black man as president, we were just kind of like, oh crap, we didn't know this was gonna happen. I think it,
But
and I'm not saying that black women should expect that. I'm just saying that, listen, like we might have to be realistic that this is just not the country.
this
It's just not the country
okay.
for it.
This is not it's
This is
not
just not the country
happening.
for it. That's why, and that's
Okay.
what I'm saying to black women. I'm saying black
Uh,
women should probably accept that this is just probably not the country for it.
well. I'll be careful about some of these words here.
Man,
I would
I'm
necessarily,
just keeping it real. This is bro,
I
this is
would, I would,
America, bro. We know what we living
this is
at.
America.
We know what we
America has
living at.
shown us it is a
They've shown
white
us this.
nationalist patriarchy.
Wait,
Straight up.
we've
White
seen this.
nationalist. This is
I'm not
America
just making this
first
up. You know what I'm saying?
patriarchy.
Like, yeah, I'm not just
Black
making this up.
women,
Like, it's like, bro, like,
don't fall for the okie doke. It ain't happening. Darwin, what are you doing here?
It's challenge day.
what's going on, y'all? It's Challenge Day,
Welcome
Season
back,
5,
challengers.
Episode 5. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Um, if you're wondering why I'm a little bit offset on my camera, it's because I had a little bit of an accident.
The boy got
Playing.
crossed up.
Nah, see that's cap. So we already know how the show gonna go. This all this cap. So I was playing soccer, and you know how that goes. Soccer is hard on the body, so it's one of those things. Anyways, so don't mind the offset look. We gonna still give y'all the hot material, hot stuff. There's a lot of
And we had
things
to
that
take some time off because of that. He was supposed to
yeah,
record last week, and
yeah,
before the election happened, and and all that. So because your situation, we had to
yeah.
take a pause for the cause. But we back, baby.
Yeah, we back, man. We're just trying to give you guys some hot material, hot off the presses, as far as our take on everything that's been going on. So with all that, bro, we want to just get right into the show. However, almost forgot. Let's do some housekeeping. Like, comment, subscribe. You'll
Somewhere
see
up there.
our it'll be up there. You'll see our social handle at another challenge day. That is at another challenge day. Jeff not Jeffrey. That's Darwin Darko. Check us out. Hit us up. Talk to us. We talk back. All right. So now let's jump into the show. First things first, let's go ahead and do what the mass count says. What we got going on with the mass count?
It was 424 last time. That was a while ago. It's up to 454. The latest one was in Tuskegee, Alabama. At
Mm,
oh, actually no, there was another one right after that. I just saw
mm-hmm,
this. Atlanta, Georgia. 4 injured in Atlanta. I
mm,
didn't even look. Okay, so that just happened. So it's at 455 actually.
mm.
But the Tuskegee
45.
one is the representative there is Mike Rogers.
Okay.
He's a Republican. That happened at the that happened actually at a the school. I don't remember exactly what the school is, but it's the HBCU that happened over
Mm,
there, and it was they were celebrating the 100th homecoming. And
mm.
somebody freaking, spun the block on it, and the suspect was recently arrested. 12 people were injured and
That's good.
one person killed. Yeah, the representative there is Mike Rogers. He's a Republican. He's been there for 20 years. So if you're in his district, hit him up, ask him what he's doing to curtail such incidents like this, and put
Mm-hmm.
some pressure on that boy to like help. And he had a switch too. He had a switch on a
Of course he
pistol.
did.
So they was like, yo, somebody has a machine gun. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And so I think he's gonna be charged with they're calling it a machine gun.
Mm.
But it's kind of acting like a machine gun, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what you doing to prevent bump stocks and switches, whatnot, Mike Rogers? Holla at your boy when we get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Form now that Trump has won. Surprise if you haven't heard of Trump has won. Now that Trump has won, um, the Project 2025 goes into effect. That's that's what they said they was gonna do. The vast majority of people that wrote up Project 2025 was working for Trump before. These are the
They were.
experienced professionals.
Mm-hmm.
that was working for him before, and
Hmm.
now they get to they've been already hiring for people,
They have already been hiring, yes.
already been hiring for people even
Mm-hmm.
before this was months ago before the election was even happened.
Hmm.
So they got people in place to go jump right into the offices and stuff that they were hired for once Trump is inaugurated. So
Any one of those folks that was a part of his administration that is a part of this project 2024, have they hired any of those folks?
2025.
Yeah, 2025. This project 2025.
They've given people like promissory notes or I don't know. They can't hire them because they don't have a job for them
Well,
yet.
yeah, yeah. But
But
you're
like
saying that these
they
people
vetted
already have.
candidates and they have lists of people to like take positions.
Is
Yeah.
that list available? Like, can you
They
find
ain't gonna
out?
do that. No, hell no. You ain't gonna.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Why would-
No, I
hell
was, yeah,
no.
I was curious. I was curious to know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
You couldn't do that because you don't know if Trump was gonna win.
hmm,
You know what I mean? This
yeah,
is people's like employment records, potential employment records. There's like
yeah.
a bunch of resumes, let's say, you know what I mean? And then you make decisions, hiring decisions and stuff
But
like you're
they're
not
like
gonna put that
potential
out.
candidates that people think that he was actually gonna have a part of his current
No, but like these
administration.
positions that they're hiring for is administrative stuff. It ain't for cabinets and stuff like that. It's for
Oh, okay.
like, yo, if you work for the FDA, like you've been there like a career
Hmm.
FDA worker,
Hmm.
you gone. You know what I mean? We're gonna put a
Yeah.
Trump loyalist in that job. And that's just like an analyst position or something like that, or a
Hmm.
project manager, you know
Yeah.
what I mean, at freaking FEMA or at the EP Department of Education or something like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
Like bureaucrats, all those bureaucrats
Yeah.
they're going to put in their own bureaucrats to like
Hmm.
really make things move.
Yeah. There's nothing new
So
there.
that's what they say they're going to do. So
Mm-hmm.
we see that they're going to try to put it in action. But just a reminder of some stuff that was in Project 2025, um, the which is is going to be a central theme for this second presidency, especially because that boy don't be doing homework, so he's going to outsource this probably this whole staffing of this thing. So
Ah.
the reduction of federal workforce, they
Hmm.
they definitely Vivek Ramaswamy was talking about how the whole what do you call it, the not the bureaucratic state, what do you call it,
The deep state.
it's the deep state, but it's the bureaucratic state. It's just sort I forget there was a term that he was using, but
I
like
want to tell you that once again, in the United States of America, we again have three branches, co-equal branches of government, not four, that we shut down the unconstitutional administrative state.
there's these people that's been in this bureaucracy forever, and they
Yeah,
run things a certain way, and
because he's been
they
because
want to
he's
overhaul
been
that.
trying to he's because he's been trying to pitch putting in new people in those spaces for a while.
Mhm.
I know him specifically. He's been that was a part of his whole campaign thing. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
I think
they're
you're
going to be cutting
spot on
back
with
on
that.
regulations. That's part of
Yeah.
Project 2025, cut back on a bunch of regulations from building codes all the way to water
Hmm.
and water treatment facilities and all that stuff. Hey, that's what y'all
Hmm.
say y'all want.
Hmm.
That's what the country wants. So these are the things they go put in.
Hmm.
And of course, pushing for more business friendly government.
Hmm.
So whether it's tax cuts or whether it's again deregulation for these businesses to do whatever they want.
Hmm.
You're looking forward to that in Project 2025. Also, the overhauling of the judicial system he's gonna have a big focus on appointments to the federal judiciary, especially these federal judges.
Hmm.
We're not even just talking about the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is already gone. I know. So he already put in three Supreme Court justices,
Yeah.
and then Alito and probably Thomas is going to retire, because they can safely retire because Trump is going to be able to put conservatives in the in their spots.
So
So that's going to be
they were just holding spots pretty much.
just holding it up. If Biden would have, or I mean, if Kamala would have won,
Oh yeah, they
they,
definitely would have stayed for
they
sure.
would have
Yeah.
stayed for sure. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they would
And
have.
they
Yeah.
might still stay, but I think they're gonna retire because this is their chance to ensure that they get, what I mean,
That those conservative
conservatives.
seats still
I
remain.
was talking
Yeah.
to somebody the other day that said that was kind of like that was shooting Trump some bail, saying that I think he's so fair and he's so righteous that
I disagree.
he may. I'm saying what they saying.
Mm.
He's saying he's so righteous and he's so fair that he would nominate two centrist or two like liberals to those two spots just to even things out. They're saying Trump would do that because he's so fair or so right. I'm like,
Mm.
I don't know how you could give him that grace, but But okay, but he's a
A,
lot of people are
a moderate maybe, but not like, but like no, like they would have, like if they like I would say like he would put like a not like a non-MAGA conservative person there, but I don't think
Mm.
any more left than that. Like
I think
I don't think any more left than
Eileen
that.
Cannon, the one judge in Florida that was like letting this dude slide on stuff after stuff after stuff.
Oh yeah,
I
no,
think
but she
I think she could be in the Supreme Court next. She might be up there. She was a judge already, letting him slide on that stuff.
yeah, she
I
wild.
could sure see him being like,
Well, yeah, because
you looked out for
she's
me.
yeah, she scratched his back, so she yeah, it's a whole quid pro quo kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean, like, yeah, I can definitely see that. Yeah,
So she going up. So yeah, you
yeah.
say hello to Justice Eileen Cannon
Mm-hmm.
in a few months, maybe 6 months from now.
If you,
Okay. There's gonna be stricter immigration policies,
yeah, we know
including
that for
construction
sure.
of the border wall. You know, they're gonna go back on that border wall. He's gonna try to get that back up. And he even talked about deputizing the National Guard to help at the border and with these mass deportations. They have
Mm-hmm.
to round people up. They're talking about rounding up, a couple million people.
I really want to see how he actually goes about doing that. Cause
You say you want to see it?
yeah,
Like, you want to
no,
see? So you want to see him like
no, I want to
try?
see, no, no, I want to see like, cause again, like I think that a lot of this is just a lot of talk to just put like a lot of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a lot of fear mongering in a way. Like it's like just to kind of rile people up. But I actually want to see like in practice, like what are you actually gonna actually do?
Okay.
What
Well,
legitimate policy?
I would
That's
say
what I want to see. Because I feel like a
I
lot
would
of it is
say
just
that
mediating.
I tend to believe people when they tell me who they are. I
Mm-mm.
tend to do that. I'm
Mm.
not. If they tell me 9 things
I feel like most
that
people
they
are
say
capped,
they
man.
are, what you say?
I feel like most people are capped.
But again,
We see the world
most
in two
people could
different
be
ways
capped.
though.
Most people could be capped. They could be
Yeah,
capped now.
yeah.
But I'm gonna move like they for real.
I hear that.
Like I'm
And I
not gonna
respect that.
wear.
I
I'm
respect
not gonna
that.
wear. Some people could say, "Yo,
Yeah.
don't wear certain colors. You come to this in this hood." I'm gonna take them at their word that I probably
Yeah.
shouldn't wear them colors.
I agree.
They might be
In that case, I agree.
fugazi. They might be
Yeah.
fugazi. They might be soft. But you know what? I'm not gonna test that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
be
gonna,
like, you know what?
you know,
I'm gonna
no,
check in. You know what I
no,
mean? I'm gonna go on this block. I'm gonna check in.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Or I'm not gonna wear them colors. You know what I mean? We're not going to
Mm,
because you said so. You said that
yeah.
if that happens, you're gonna do. So I
Yeah.
tend to believe people for who they say they are.
Mm,
And I think that somebody who is that age that he is because I know
mm.
my big age, I am more certain of who I am, and I am way less
Fair.
apologetic than I used to be about who I am. I'm like, no,
That's
this
very true.
this is
Yeah.
Darwin. You're gonna get
Yeah.
all of this.
Yeah.
If you don't
Yeah.
like it, God bless, go be
Mm,
great over
mm.
there. But I'm gonna be me. And so I would think somebody
I hear
even
that though. I respect that.
double my age, I
Mm.
think he's sure of who he is. So when he says this is who I
Oh,
am, I'm gonna believe him.
I think you're underestimating his finesse powers, man. This is the finesse god, man.
Okay.
I feel like he's
Well,
doing a lot
let's
of
put a pin in that. Let's put
finessing.
a pin on that because
Okay.
because you ain't gonna no pushback from me by him being the finesse champion of the world. This dude
I'm
right here.
telling you, yeah.
Real quick, so a couple little things, last minute, last thing about Project 25 that they plan on implementing that they say in the project. So is that they want to eliminate the Department of Education. The Department of Education is responsible for all of your
Which is
public
crazy.
schooling, right? And I'm a product of public schools. You know, as much charter schools as you want, as much private schools as you want out there. There's just way too many kids in America for you to like be able to do it like that way. Just to charter
Yeah,
schools,
that's yeah.
the private schools, people can't afford that joint. You're gonna what you're gonna do? Ask for a voucher. Now you get a voucher. Where does that voucher come from? That's tax dollars.
Yeah,
That's
it's
where that
creating
voucher
vouchers.
comes from.
Yeah.
It's the government money. It's government money coming to you. Maybe that's the handout that you like. Some people might call that socialism. Hey, apparently I hate socialism on the side, but
It absolutely is.
that's
But that's another example of like why I'm like, is you really going, bro? Come on, bro. It's like
hey,
you
I'm
mentioned.
just telling you what's in the plan, bro.
No,
I
hear that.
It's
Yeah,
one thing to talk about it, but then when
I
you
hear
put that
that.
bit
One
on
line.
paper,
No, I hear that. I hear
it's
that.
like 800 pages.
Yeah, I hear that. No, I hear that.
Nigga, I ain't writing something for 800 pages, and I ain't gonna make that bit happen. I like writing, but I don't like writing
That's
that
fair.
much. 800 pages.
That's fair. That's
Right,
fair.
I'm gonna be pump faking with it. No, sir, no, sir.
Mm.
So I mean, so we kind of know, what we're getting with the Trump administration. They said this is what they said. You know what I mean? If there's could be, there's again, the bureaucracy could really slow a lot of this stuff down. But this is again, they got a plan for that too. You know what I mean? Like put in their people. And so like, whatever. So we know who MAGA is. We know who Trump is. Trump is MAGA. He owns the party now, right? The Republican Party, they couldn't even fuck with him. 3 times in a row. So he got president nominated to Biden, lost, and they came back again 3 times in a row. That's 3 cycles. They couldn't get anybody but him. Yeah. He owns the party. The party is him at this point. So what's going to happen now that the Dems have, what'd you say?
No, that's actually a good point. I actually didn't think about that until now. That like
3 cycles in a row.
It's like going to the finals 3 times. 3 times in a row. Like
this is you.
Yeah, he won twice.
The thing now that the Democrats are going to do, they're going to do a post-mortem like, oh, what did we do wrong? What could we change? What can we fix it? And the Democrats always make the wrong decisions.
Yeah.
They always do the thing that like, no, that's not what the country was saying.
They didn't campaign well at all either.
I thought Kamala did the best she could do with the time that she was given.
So I want to say something about that real quick. Kamala's not at fault here for any of it.
Not at all.
She's not at fault for it. Like, because I one thing that I pride myself on is being fair. I'm gonna be fair. Like Kamala she has zero to blame on this. She was given what she was given. She did the best that she could,
and she was out there running.
And she hit the ground running.
No stone unturned.
Yeah, she hit the ground running. She did everything that she could. Now, granted, I felt like it was Biden 2.0 based on how she was campaigning. But at the end of the day, this is the plate that she was given. She was like, this is what I'm working with. It is what it is, right? Yeah. But it just didn't. I just didn't see it as a. I don't think the Democrats really had like a surefire plan.
No, they fucked up since 2022. It's when Biden should have been like, since 2022, yo, I'm only doing 1 term. I'm not running. They should have let the Democrats run the primary. You know what I mean? Maybe Kamala would have won that, and then she would have still. I don't think she would have won that because she was doing poorly when they first did the primaries. But I don't think she would have won that.
Well,
that was last time though. That was that last time.
Yeah, but I think
she's been vice president though in 4 years.
True, she has a little bit of income
on top of that resume.
Right,
and she wasn't doing poorly. But she wasn't doing poorly at last time. She was doing pretty well at the beginning, but then after
she dropped out,
a couple of things, she dropped out early. Yeah, she dropped out early. I think she was peeping the landscape, and like I think she might have been positioning herself to be VP. Like and that's what ended up happening.
So you think she saw the writing on the wall? Like,
I think she saw the writing on the wall, and like kind of early, like she was like, okay, I'm not getting momentum. This ain't my time. So boom, let me fall back, position myself, and maybe I'll get selected VP, or maybe I don't know, maybe I'll be in the cabinet or an administration or something like that. I think but then she got chosen to be VP, especially because Biden had already promised to nominate a woman vice president. A woman
as black, but that's
he didn't say black woman. He said I think he said a woman.
Oh, I thought he said black woman. Okay, so he said a woman.
That was for the Supreme Court.
Okay, that was okay. So I mixed it too. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a carry on because there's a few more things that I would say about it, but carry on. It's fine.
Okay, so the last of I'm trying to get to the postmortem about the Democrats. They always do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And they're gonna do the wrong thing again. The new Democrats now. I'm gonna tell you exactly what the lesson they're gonna learn from this. We have lost both parties right now. They're lost. The Republican Party is gone. It's the MAGA party. I think they should change the name to MAGA. Just change the party. It's the MAGA, but that's the identity of the party now.
There are a lot of voices.
The Democratic Party is done. It's done as far as we know. What's going to happen is they will embrace Liz Cheney the way they trotted her out on the campaign with Kamala. This is a Republican representative from Arizona. Dick Cheney's daughter, right? Staunch, freaking 99% NRA rating or 100% NRA rating, all that stuff. These are Republicans by through and through. Dick Cheney, right? War criminal Dick Cheney lied to us about Iraq, about the weapons of mass destruction. That Dick Cheney. The Democrats are going to absorb them. Adam Kinzinger, another one. Joe Manchin left the party because left the party because these Democrats are going too left
because he's independent now.
Because he's independent. He's conservative. He was in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Joe Manchin is going to come back to the fold. Liz Cheney is going to be there, and all of these Democrats are going to absorb
Interesting.
these Republicans that left MAGA, that don't rock with MAGA.
Mhm.
These anti-Trump, they're going, and then they're going to absorb in that Democrat Party, and that Democrat Party is going to shift to the right. So we're going to have two right-wing parties. One is going to be center right because the Democrats are going to be part of that, and the other is going to be far right, which is the MAGA. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Okay.
People like AOC, people like Bernie Sanders,
Mhm.
people like Elizabeth Warren cannot be in the same party as a Liz Cheney.
Correct. I agree.
There's no freaking way. Cory
They are
Booker,
super progressive. Yeah.
Jon Stewart,
Mhm.
if he would ever to run for anything or like his positions on stuff,
Yep.
he would never call himself a Democrat, knowing that that Democrat Party had Liz Cheney, Dick Cheney, Adam Kissinger in the same boat.
Mhm.
No, they can't do it. So that group of people are they gonna have to start something new. They're gonna have to start. They're gonna take some L's because they're a third party,
Mhm.
but they have an advantage because there's some big names. Those are some big names. Obama ain't even gonna be in that party. Obama is too center for that party with the AOCs, right? So that party is gonna be
Speaking of
pretty
Obama,
lit.
if Michelle Obama ran, she probably would have won that.
Hell no. Okay, no, stop it. I'm gonna put a pin in
Nah,
that.
man.
Fuck that shit.
No,
I'm
man.
gonna put a kibosh on that. I do not. Michelle Obama.
I knew that was gonna rile you.
Michelle Obama is another like icon for me. I do not want her nowhere near these motherfucking Democrats.
No,
Don't
man.
fucking do it.
They need a savior, man.
Fuck that. No. I will actively campaign against her
That's great.
to save her from herself. Like Trump said.
She would have put up a fight. She would have put up a fight.
Like Trump said, I will protect her whether she likes it or not.
They said, sir, I just think it's inappropriate for you to say, pay these guys a lot of money. Can you believe it? I said, well, I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not. I'm going to protect them. I'm going to protect them.
Like that boy said, right? But that's what's going to happen. There's going to be these new Democrats. We're going to see them by the time the next midterm come around. This Republican Party, the Democratic Party is going to be way different from what it is now, and they're going to keep losing because nobody want Coke Zero. You want Coke. You want Coke Zero.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? So you ain't looking for Republican light. You ain't looking for MAGA light. But these Republicans need some place to go. You know, I don't remember Kellyanne Conway's husband. I don't know if they still married. I don't remember his name, but
God.
he's a never Trumper. You know what I mean? But he was Republican through Bush and all these guys, and he's been fighting.
Every time I hear her name, I want to throw up in my mouth.
Kellyanne Conway.
Yeah. Every time I hear her.
But she got that gift of gab though, boy. She know how to talk.
She do, Loki.
Boy, she'll
bro,
talk in circles.
I ain't
Wait a
gonna
minute,
lie. Yo, she is elite. She is so elite at that.
Nice with
I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Yeah,
I'd be like, dang.
Pete Buttigieg is who I would say on the left is like most like her when it comes to like spitting that game. Like Pete Buttigieg could be on going on Fox News all the time. He's just like.
But I will say I rock with Pete what he did. We about to get into it what he did. I rock with what he did, but we'll get into that later on. Speaking of Pete, but
okay, so that's what my theory on the new Dems. But we talked about the pin. We put a pin in Trump being the finesse god, the DOJ dropping the charges from January 6th and then dropping the classified documents.
We said Darwin and I, we said this was gonna happen. We did say this was gonna happen.
That
we
boy
knew that
has never suffered a consequence.
We knew this was gonna happen.
A day in his life from when he was a child.
That's the thing that had
never suffered a consequence, dog. There's stories
got
about
me tight, bro.
There's a story about how he got freaking professors and teachers fired over him acting up in class. That boy never suffered. He's the only person. So this is why I say I'm legit, dog. He's a demigod. Like when it comes, Jeff, when it comes to like
people treat him like it though, for sure.
Nah, dog. Physics treats him this way.
Don't do that.
The universe, dog. When it comes to
don't do that, bro. That's crazy.
When they say equal and opposite, we would say like consequences, right?
Yeah.
Cause and effect.
Bro, oh my
cause
God.
and effect. What do you call somebody who effect doesn't happen to? They have all the causes, but the effect never happens. He's never suffered a consequence.
Bro.
Never truly took an L for anything. This dude is a felon.
Yeah,
he just became president.
Yeah.
He just hadn't his sentence yet. They're about to give him his sentence next week.
Yeah, on the 26th. I thought it was on the 26th or something like that. 23rd, 26th, something like that. I can't remember. It's coming up.
What consequence could you possibly imagine going to happen to Demi-god Trump? No, huh? You could they couldn't go out there.
He been getting away. He been getting away with this.
They would
Say.
say this. They would say, okay, well, he was found guilty on all this stuff. He is a convicted felon.
Mhm.
We don't even have to say allegedly on that. He is a convicted felon.
Yeah.
And they said we're gonna get for his sentence, he gets 20 years. And you know what they're gonna say right after that? They say we're gonna put it on the books that we're gonna sentence him to 20 years. Trump is not gonna see a day in prison. They're gonna say, but we're gonna commute his sentence. But at least it's on the books. Trump is gonna be like, nigga, what the fuck do I care about your books? I'm gonna burn all that shit next week, anyways.
Yeah.
Next week, he will never have suffered a consequence until the day he dies. He's a demigod. Now, mind you, I will say this though. And in my stance as an atheist, if God, the God of the Bible, were to come to my face right now, prove to me that he is the God that I read about in the Bible, I'll be like, I believe in you. I still don't worship you.
This is ridiculous, bro.
I don't rock with you though, because what I hear about what I've read in the Bible, I don't like that. You're the God that you are that I read in the Bible. I don't like a lot of that. So if Trump was to be proven to actually be a demigod, like literal superpowers, literally supernatural, I'll still be like, yo, I acknowledge it. Yeah, I can acknowledge the fact he's a demigod.
So
Jeff,
you're
I still don't fuck with him though.
This is all ridiculous.
I still don't fuck with him.
you So apparently
he could shoot somebody in Middle Fifth Ave like he said, and he told us. He told us he didn't do that, but he could do it.
You attribute Trump getting away with everything with being a deity. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Jeff, okay. I'm gonna ask you. Okay, it's like this. For real.
That is insane.
But hold up. But for real. So if Flash was in our real world right now, the Flash, wouldn't he not be a demigod? I'm talking about the Flash, Jeff. Yes, that Flash.
Yeah,
and he's the only one on Earth.
I suppose so.
You'll be a demigod.
He just will be Noah Lyles.
No, come on, man. Jeff, stop. See, I thought you was going with me.
Okay, no. But based on the
Flash,
based on your premise, I was making a joke. But based on your premise, then yeah, I mean, obviously this guy's running into different timelines.
I don't know about Noah Lyles. I mean, that boy got close with that 50 meter he just ran.
Oh yeah, that's it.
But that's just a superpower. So like,
I understand the premise that you're going with, though. I get it.
Flash can't fly, so that's not a superpower. Flash can't teleport. That's not a superpower. But like, he was fast. So yeah,
technically he can in a way because of the.
I mean, if to regular people,
well,
how'd you get from here to there, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually, he can't teleport, but he can time travel.
Yeah, he can time travel.
He can time travel, but he can't teleport. That's different.
Yeah.
But with that said, that boy Trump's superpower is just not suffering consequences. And that's a I would have never thought to that be like, people ever ask you the question, Jeff, oh, if you had one superpower, what would it be? People like, oh, I want to fly or I want to be invisible. I would have never guessed that I don't want to suffer any consequences. That's my superpower.
But how do we know that though, bro? We're only seeing what we're seeing. How do you know he's not suffering consequences in the background, dude? I'm just saying, you don't know that though.
Nothing but KFC and Diet Coke. Oh my God. And he's 80 something.
That's true. He's lived a full life. For sure.
Full life, dog.
For sure.
The nigga said on camera he grabs him by the genitalia, Jeff. And he became president. He said that. The dude had a whole insurrection. Man, stop, man.
More than half of the country voted for him, man.
I had to convince. Yes, because he's a demigod. The dude got shot in the head, Jeff.
Bro, he lost
the head.
Bro, he won the popular vote, man.
That boy grabbed
so everybody
the campaign and then like swallowed that bit and he was alive again, dog.
So all the people
fight.
That's crazy. So all the people that voted for him are crazy. They all crazy.
What do you mean they crazy? What do you mean they crazy?
No, I'm saying no. I'm saying
he's a demigod. That makes me crazy.
No.
No, nigga, stop.
But I mean, no, but we're obviously it's tongue in cheek. Right? We're obviously joking here. But what I'm saying is that like,
okay, you joking? I ain't got superpowers.
That
nigga got superpowers.
You see?
I know he has superpowers. Kamala, what chance did she have?
Oh.
Dog, the DOJ dropped these charges, dog. The The DOJ dropped these
All right,
charges.
man. We can move on, man. We can just move on.
One sign of good news, at least I can say, good news to me. Mark Robinson lost North Carolina governorship.
Oh yeah, that guy's a wacko.
This
yeah.
fool was wilding. He's he would have been the first black governor of
crazy,
North
bro.
Carolina.
Yeah.
So Attorney General Josh Stein in North Carolina won that bid, and so he's going to be, so they're going back to back because they had was it Roy Cooper? He was a Democrat, and so Josh Stein, back to back North Carolina, but
Yeah.
North Carolina goes blue, but somehow Kamala still loses North Carolina. I don't know how this shit works. This is crazy.
North Carolina's probably, really low key red for real.
But they went blue for the governor. That's a whole statewide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who votes? Who? Well, I mean, you know what? Though, I could see because I'm about to say who votes blue for the governor but doesn't vote blue for the presidency. This is the governor we're talking about, right? But I could really see this dude turn a lot of people off. That there's like Mark Robinson, you know what I mean? There's
bro, he's a wild boy for real, bro.
I just don't want this guy. He's a wild
dude. He's a wild dude.
That dude called himself a black Nazi. And he supported reinstating slavery, dog.
So the people who voted blue were because they just didn't want him in the office.
They just want him.
They just didn't want him. Like
they just want that dude there. So that's a nice silver lining. I'll take that because that fool was wild, dog. Especially to be black, dog. I don't want us represented like that.
Yeah,
you could be black, you could
crazy,
be Republican,
bro,
but like don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking black Nazi. Stop it.
Yeah, it's out of control.
HBCUs, we talked about, attendance at HBCUs and athletes going to HBCUs, which I would love to see because like some of these major sports
change
football,
the landscape dramatically.
It would be crazy, dog, if these 5-star recruits would be going to these HBCUs. You know what I mean? You're going to your Howards, you're going to your Hamptons, you're going to your Bethunes and FAMs.
That's really fam, yep.
It because instead of FSU, especially they trash anyways. Go turn the whole Bethune around. Go turn the whole FAMU around. Matter of fact, go turn FAMU around. They're down the block. FAMU's down the street.
Yeah, FAMU down the block. Yep.
You know what I mean? So unfortunately, though, this is the lowest enrollment of black men in these HBCUs since 1976. Right now, it's accounting for 26%. Back then, it was 38%. Right, and surprisingly enough, actually, the Hispanic share of enrollment at HBCUs is going up. Right now, black women, they way more college educated. They go to colleges, PWI or HBCUs, whatever. They're generally are going to be more educated as a demographic. That's just the numbers, the way the numbers have worked out. And
why do you think that is?
I think because traditionally men have relied on manual labor type activities to define their masculinity, so they lean into like hard working man identity.
I looked at it as more of just having more of an entrepreneurial mindset, not necessarily something to reinforce your masculinity. But that's kind of
you saying,
but that's
black men
why
have more entrepreneurial mindset.
Yes.
Than who?
I think they're more. I think black men are more entrepreneurially, if that's a word, driven, and more. It's
Then
more
who?
of a than black women. Than black women.
women?
I think that's directly translatable. I think it's women are.
But just because
like,
you go
out
to
of high
college,
school,
but just because you go to college doesn't speak to your entrepreneurial prowess, because you could be going to college to learn a particular trade or skill so that you can go be an entrepreneur.
True,
so I don't
correct.
know how entrepreneurship would relate to.
So this is why I come to that conclusion, because I think it's more. I think out of high school, it's more of a. It appears to be more of a desire for men to go into more of those fields where they can, like, I can make money right now, or I can build my business right now. I think it's more of a desire for men to go, not necessarily
but those things that you can make
saying,
money now. I mean, those are all like name one that's not like manual labor.
Right, exactly. But what I'm saying is they would rather go into that right after high school than go to college and have to go through all this. Like, I'd rather just go to like a vocational school for a year or two than actually go to college, get a whole degree to do the same thing. I could just go get this training in 1 or 2 years.
So you're not disputing what I'm saying here. You're like,
I am because I am.
You're saying exactly it is.
No,
you're not disputing it.
No, I am disputing it. And this is the difference. You're saying it's more of you say it's more tailored to them, more tailored towards or more connected to their masculinity. And I'm saying I don't think that is the case. I think it's just how men, I
You
just
know what?
think
Okay, I see
how
what you're
generally
saying.
how men are wired.
I see what
I
you're
think they're
saying.
just more wired
I
to
see what you're saying.
yeah.
I can make the case for it. It's going to take a longer segment for me to make the
Okay.
case
Well,
of why I think that it is inevitably tied to the masculinity.
okay.
Sim, one simple point I'll make right now is that
Mm.
what's one of the main reasons guys want to make money now, right? Guys want to make money now or right out of high school, whatever, because they want to be the provider.
I would say legacy. So I guess you can put that because you can put that
Legacy,
under
provider.
you can put that under the umbrella of that.
Yeah, that's all. That's all
I think men
part
are
of the
legacy driven.
masculinity thing. But what makes you a man? You want to be a provider for your
Okay.
family.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you want to
Okay.
be able to make sure you got
I
some bread
I
ready
see
to
what you're
go.
saying.
You want to
Yeah.
make sure you have a house, that
Mm.
you built, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Because you went through this hard work and you was doing your labor,
Mm.
to then be able to be the man and then be like, yo, now you can bring a woman, you can marry a woman, you be like, you got your own already, you
Mm.
already established kind of
Mm.
thing.
Mm.
So they put you at it again. But I could tie a lot of it into masculine. That's a
Mm.
whole longer conversation.
Mm.
But yeah, generally, man, it's HBCUs are a great way. Dog, I'm sorry, dog. Manual labor has long since been slowly but surely going away. We see the manufacturing plants and auto manufacturers and all that stuff.
Mhm.
They overseas. Shirts, we don't even make shirts and clothes and stuff like that here. They overseas. TVs,
Mhm.
Mexico. A lot of the manual labor stuff is few and far between, right? It's
Mhm.
not a lot. I mean, you still have your plumbers and things like that,
Yeah, I was like, there's a lot of like there's been a
but
boom of
Jeff, you
like
have to
electricians
realize
and
how much there was before. When we
yeah,
talk about
that's
when we
true
talk about
because building a
manufacturing,
nation.
we
Yeah,
talk
that's true.
about coal.
Yeah.
When you talking about coal mining,
Yeah,
we
we've gotten
talk
to a
about
place where technology has, globalization,
bruh.
all that. I understand.
It's a
I understand.
lot, dog. When we invented
Yeah.
the freaking
We're much more advanced than we used to be
when
for sure.
when we invented the earth movers, these freaking
Mm,
bulldozers.
yeah, yeah.
Used to have 100 guys with shovels doing some shit.
Mhm.
Now one guy with the bulldozer doing that joint.
Yeah.
These other guys now have to either learn how to ride bulldozers,
Mhm.
learn how to be project managers,
Yeah.
or something. You have to learn a different skill. We just don't have the space and capacity more because because business is like, yo, it's more efficient for us to have one bulldozer.
Yeah. And
You know what I mean?
those machines are becoming more advanced now. And like the guys who are operating them needs to be certified now. So
You
they
need to
have
be
to
a
be.
fucking
So now you gotta
technician.
be
You can't even be a mechanic.
yeah, you
You
can't
gotta
be a
be a
mechanic anymore. You gotta
technician,
be like a whole technician, yeah.
an engineer, even.
You actually gotta be an engineer, yeah, a lot of times. Yeah. Now
You know what I'm talking
yeah.
about?
So I understand what you're saying. Like it's the qualifications have definitely definitely elevated
So
or
my point
escalated.
is that
I get what you're saying.
college education, yeah, I do not agree that everybody should go to college. Actually, no, I do agree everybody should go to college, but not specifically just for the education, because like I think like the experiences you learn from college, like living in a dorm, for example, I learned so
Oh
much,
yeah, the
that kind
experience
of
you
stuff, right?
yeah
Just
experiences
experience.
a lot.
So I think everybody should go to college for that,
Mhm.
but you shouldn't just casually go to college because that joint also costs us like $100,000, $200,000,
It is very
right?
expensive.
So
Yeah.
very expensive. So I wouldn't just do it. But I think there is efficacy in going to college. But the point is that there's gonna be a lot more cerebral shit. This is 2025. It's only gonna get more and more cerebral.
Mhm.
Is that all you got, nigga? Oh, no, nigga. That's just the tip of this iceberg. Read, nigga, read.
Well, how smart are you? How technically savvy are you? Can you operate this machine? Can you operate this computer kind of thing? It's gonna be less shovels, man. It's gonna
Mhm.
be less pushing a cart. It's gonna be less like even the forklift riders anymore. Like they got robots doing that joint now.
Mhm.
So like, dudes is gonna have to. You're gonna need to educate. Like you want to push back. I get it, and you want to be like, yo, these women are getting too like, because they could be like, wait a minute, I have a brain. Like I just push buttons and I can figure this out. And so now women are taking these jobs that used to be men because but men used to use shovels, and now physical prowess no longer matters. It's all
Mhm.
about like, can you learn how to operate this machine or
Mhm.
like how to write this code?
Mhm.
Um, dudes, y'all gonna have to just get educated. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to get educated. That's just the world because because corporate America is not gonna care about your masculinity. They want to say that all that kind of stuff now. They want to look out for men and young boys and like that. But corporate America is trying to get their dollars. So they're gonna buy bulldozers. They're gonna buy bulldozers. They're not gonna care. You know what? We want men to do great. So we're gonna hire 30 men to shovel this pit
It,
instead
it's
of a bulldozer. It ain't gonna happen.
it's about efficiency and delivery. That's
Yeah.
just what it is. Like companies now, and what Darn is also probably alluding to is and also why I'm saying efficiency in delivery is that it's become more like the way that products are being brought to the market now. They are not even necessarily like 100% foolproof. It's just we gotta deliver it to the market, and it will continue
Yeah.
to improve as time goes.
And
That's
they
that's
they
the
have
same in every
they have a
industry.
quality control. They're like
Yeah.
5% or 3% is like could be defective.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can do it.
Like, yeah, we
We'll
can work
do
with
it.
that. Yeah, like this is good. This is good enough. Yeah,
Good
like
enough.
that's literally what the market is now. Like it's all about how fast you can get this product on in the market. So it's the same. It's the same in tech. It's the same in every industry. That's just the way that the
Yeah.
U.S. economy flows.
Even
right
the
now.
auto manufacturers that we do have here,
Mhm.
there's a bunch of robots in that joint with a few
Yeah.
humans for dexterity reasons and to screw the specific thing in, or
and
to like
and those humans that are there are engineers. They're
Yeah.
not just regular folk. They are engineers who are highly engineered. So
so I say all that
Yeah.
to say that the closest barrier for entry into the middle class is through
It's
a
a
college
bachelor's degree.
education,
Yeah,
a master's degree, at least a bachelor's degree,
at least a
right?
bachelor's. Yeah, yeah.
And the easiest route towards acceptance into a university for black folk, for black men, will be an HBCU.
Mhm.
Secondly, a lot of these HBCUs have some of the top graduation rates for some of these top tier things, like in engineer. Like you still got to get certified in these things, remember, or attorneys, for example. You still have to get past the test. The math got to be math for you to pass that test, right? And you got to go to that. So these schools aren't there to just pass people along, right? They're there for you to get a legit education, because they still need to be accredited. Remember, these schools need to be accredited. So they're not going just like, oh, he's black, so we're just give him a degree. Here you go.
Yeah,
That's what some people might think HBCUs be about.
One of the things that that I've informed people about is that they're like with HBCUs, like a lot of their specialty programs and like residency programs are even harder than some of the PWI ones you go to. Like for example, I got a cousin, Sabrina. She went to Meharry dentist school. It's one of the hardest dentist schools to go through in the United States, and it's an HBCU. So these HBCU, just because the HBCU doesn't mean you're gonna skate by. They're actually the programs are even harder because the professors know that you think it's gonna be sweet. They know that.
Yeah.
So like the programs are more rigorous, and just like Darwin said, they're also got to be accredited. So they want to make sure that the programs are rigorous and they're competitive. So Darwin has a point.
Sometimes you don't get funding if you're just not accredited, so you can't just be like just giving people degrees. Don't just hand them out. But because of the support system that is involved in being part of an HBCU, your teachers look like you. The administration cares about you because like
matters,
you come from where they probably came from. They know how to they know how to. Well, it's still an institution, but like it's more than the PWI. I HBCU students, the HBCU faculty cares more about black students than a PWI. Now, do they always have the funding to execute on that? They might not always have the funding because the endowment isn't as deep, right?
Yeah,
you got to rely
huge.
on a lot of charity work. You got to rely on a lot of like, hopefully the federal government, you know what I mean, slide some bread your way. But with the support system, my main point is that with that particular support system, chances are greater for black men to graduate out of these schools. So
sounds like the infrastructure needs an overhaul based on what you're saying.
The infrastructure, I don't think it needs an overhaul. It needs an infusion. It needs an investment.
Okay.
These HBCUs need an investment. High school 5-star athletes need to. It's going to be a whole movement to do this. But like, Buddy got a scholarship to Alabama.
Yeah.
Versus Jackson.
Bro, they got the facilities, they got the exposure, they got all
you know what I
that,
mean? It's like it's tough to ask a freaking 16-year-old, 17-year-old to do that choice out of some like bigger picture type joint. I get that, but I'm just saying for the in a vacuum, this is what you would need. What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I got to give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button, because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too.
So here on Challenge Day, we like to express some or detail some challenges that we typically face throughout the week, or throughout some period of time. We'd like to share it with you guys, because everyone goes through challenges, and the best way to go about doing any challenge is to go ahead and address it and conquer it, right? So that's what we like to also share as well, how we are addressing those challenges and how we conquer them. So I like to kind of jump into it now, actually. For me, when I think about challenges, um, I think about things that aren't easy, right? Things that aren't easy, but you push forward anyways, right?
Yeah, it's gonna make you better at the end of the day.
Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, it'll yeah, you'll be your future like Darwin likes to say, your future self will thank you,
Yeah.
right? And for me, what I want to kind of harp on as far as the challenge that I think that I have experienced, or have experienced as of late, in particular to this whole voting season, right? I I think what's important that people need to address within their lives is you need to be real with yourself, as far as like, what are your values? What do you find important? What are things that actually matter to you, and those that you are connected to, or those that you love? And what kind of country would you like to live in? How would you like the country that you live in? How would you like it to function? Um, and these are questions that I think a lot of times, that the way we think about them, I guess it just depends on who you are as a person, but these are also existential questions a lot of times. Like, you have to really dig deep to like go with, like, if it's like a particular candidate you like, or if it's a candidate that you that you don't like, and you want to do whatever in your power to not um to do your part, as far as like not allowing them to get to that seat, right? Um, my challenge is for everybody is to do some intrinsic work and really understand who you are and what your values are. And when it comes to these different positions, when it comes to the country that you live in, from the local level to the state level to the federal level, obviously, and to the Oval Office, I think that people should always fall back on your values. Now, if your values is you just a wild boy and you just wilding out here, you just doing some wild stuff,
Could
you
that be
have to
considered values though? My
like,
value is to wild out.
values, like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're, that's like, all right, come on, bro. Like, but like actual values that like probably have been instilled in you based on your family, or maybe your own experiences in life, which you've experienced, maybe through education or whatever it might be. Um, I challenge folks to stand on their square. I challenge you to stand on your square and to utilize what you deem valuable in your life, and what you would like to see and experience, right?
I think
For me,
I think you should also emphasize what you said at the beginning there,
yeah,
is having done the introspective work
yeah,
of
yeah,
making sure you identify with
for
that thing.
sure.
Like, is this something that like something that I like, or is this like a principle?
Is it?
That's the
Yeah,
difference. Yeah.
and that's actually, so you jumped ahead a little bit. That's actually what I was getting to.
Hmm.
Is that you want to make sure that this is something that, do I actually really believe in this thing? Is this something that, if I am confronted about, am I actually going to stand on my square about this thing? Is this an actual principle or moral that I actually operate from? Is this the foundation that my whole life is functioning out of? How I interact with people, how I see
The world.
the world, how I see the world, right? How I see my
Hmm.
family, my immediate situation, as far as my family life or whatever. Um, there's going to be people in your family that you're going to disagree with. There's going to be people in your family that you're going to sever relationships with. There's going to be people that are close to you that you might even relationships may end. But who are you? Like, you have to ask yourself, who am I? What are my values? And I think that when it comes to, and I'm saying all this to say, obviously, the voting, we just, a new president was elected, president elect was elected. There are people who agree with the decision. There are people who are against it. Um, and and another layer of this that needs to be considered is obviously, like, I mean, if you're black in this country, we know that we're living in two Americas anyways. So, I mean, that's just something that you can't ignore. It is what it is. But as far as a values perspective go, I think that you shouldn't be driven by what other people want you to do. You shouldn't be driven by um political pundits or all these different outlets, these echo chambers. I've mentioned that before. I think it's so important that you
It's
do the
information
introspective
though.
work.
Maybe not driven,
Oh
but it's
yeah,
information.
yeah, absolutely. It's information, but this is the thing though. Like I think the majority of voters in the United States are uninformed. I believe that like 100%. I
Okay.
believe that the majority of voters are uninformed. I believe that the informed voter is the minority. Like I believe that, even if it's like 49 to 51, like I believe the minority is the informed voter, right? And I think that a lot of times, I mean, just based on things that I've seen through my short time being on Earth, and my short time of even voting, right? Like it's like waves. It's like these things happen in waves, bro. Like when I talk to people about like why you voted for this candidate, because what was your reason for voting for this candidate? There's not really like it doesn't appear to me, based on the response that I've gotten, is that you really this is something that you truly believe in. Like there are specific stances that I am 100% vehemently against, right? And you know those stances. There's certain things that the Democratic Party specifically stands for that I'm 100% against, and I'm gonna always be against those things, right? But at the same time, there are things I acknowledge that Democrats do that I'm like, yeah, that's good. I like that. That's dope. Like I see what y'all doing here. I see what y'all doing there. And the same way with the what's left of the conservative party, right? There are things that they stand for that I morally support. But obviously there are other parts of it that's like, okay, y'all on some puritanical wilding type, Ku Klux Klan type. Like I recognize that's there too. So it's like, so you kind of have to like a lot of times
David Duke is a Republican.
yeah,
These
you know
people
like,
these Nazis that
yeah.
was moving in Charlottesville.
Yeah,
These Republicans.
yeah, you feel me? So it's like,
Yeah.
so you're gonna find, and so I'm saying all this to say that you're gonna find yourself have to make some hard decisions, some decisions that you're probably not even, you really don't want to make, but are you really making that decision because you're like, oh, because of what this person's gonna think of me, or are you making this decision based on like intrinsically in your heart of hearts, like this is what I truly believe is right when it comes to this world. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's my challenge. It's like at the end of the day, all I want for people to do is do that introspective work.
Vote your interest.
Yeah, and vote your interest. You know what I'm saying? Like vote your interest. That's my challenge to everybody. Vote your interest. I know I do. I know I do. There's things that I don't like on either side, right? But I know that at the end of the day, like I know that the vote that I cast, I'm okay with it because there's specific stances that I have that I always stand on my square about, that I am immovable on those stances, right? I'm immovable. And for me, if a person were to tell me that, I can respect that 100%. Like Darn has specific stance he has on, he's immovable, and I respect it. I'm like, you know what? I can't knock that. That's your stance. You feel me? So like, but just don't be swayed. I just don't like the whole swaying, bro. I hate that. I hate when like it's cool to have the information. Like you should have the information. You know what I'm saying? Be informed. But at the end of the day, like in your heart of hearts, make sure that whatever decision that you make when it comes to these different elections, whatever level it's on, that is coming from the foundation of who you are as a person. And that's my challenge for folks. Like vote your interest. And that's really all that I have. I know for me that I do that. I just want that message out there that like it's okay to vote your interest. It's okay to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I got on that. What you got, bro?
It in light of the same sort of thing, I am the challenge is for me, but a lot of times I put out the challenge for the audience as well. And in this case, it's accepting the election results. I've been on here. I wore my Kamala hat. I was behind Kamala since she first ran in 2019, and I support her. And the vision I thought she laid out, what she tried to lay out. Overall, I thought she was more. I think she's more. I still think she's more qualified for a job. I'm hiring somebody to do a specific job, and that job has certain descriptions. Here's what it entails. You got to do. Here's the duties. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do this. From decisions about the economy, from decisions about housing, from decisions about food and drug and all these things, right? To relationships with foreign leaders, and our allies, and how we how was traditionally deemed as our adversaries, places like Russia, China, and how we interact with these spaces. And I take all those things into account. And I think as hiring somebody for a job, um, she checked the boxes way more than this guy did, than Trump did. Now, I had to come to a realization that America don't run like that. America don't run like that. America's on vibes, baby. America's like how we feel. Because I'm gonna tell you straight up, the numbers, the statistics, the data shows that this economy is amazing. I think it was Wall Street Journal that might have came out with an article. I forgot to look this up, but that one of these, but generally Google this. You'll Google it, you'll find it. That whoever they were like, we're not here endorsing anybody, but we're about to just say whoever becomes president is about to inherit an amazing economy. Right now,
so why do you think so many people complain about it?
I just told you, man, vibes.
Because of vibes.
America runs on
Is it just
vibes. You know how
vibes?
Dunkin' Donut,
Okay.
America runs on coffee.
Yeah.
America runs on Dunkin'. America actually runs on vibes. They would
A wild
ask people
conclusion.
how you feel about the economy, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be the poll that would be reported. Meanwhile, when you check the consumer,
That's a credit report.
you call it the consumer purchase, not the CP's consumer price index, not consumer price index, the consumption rate. There's a specific term for it.
Okay.
Like, dude, you go to Best Buy, the parking lot is full. But wait, all y'all said that y'all feel like the country is doing bad economically. But why is Best Buy full? Why are y'all breaking down doors still on Black Friday last year and the year before that?
It don't matter what president.
But the
is in office.
economy bad though.
They gonna find a way to Black Friday.
You said the
It don't
economy is
matter.
bad though. So
Yeah.
why is it like last year, and earlier this year, they were like, oh, this is the busiest travel day in American history. What? But the economy bad. How you afford all these flights? How you going on these vacations? But you telling me that the economy is bad because that's how they feel. But that's not actually on the ground what's happening. If gas prices were so high, why are y'all traveling on the road so much? Why are y'all freaking like cross country traveling all the time?
Yeah, people are still doing that. That's true. And the gas
It
prices
turns out
irked me, bro, I ain't gonna lie.
the gas prices is not as high as it was, when you thought you remembered. It's like maybe like a dime, 10, 15 cents more.
Yeah, it was higher. It's gotten lower. Yeah, it's definitely
Gotten lower. Things
Yeah,
are getting better. That means the trajectory, because things were bad, even if you don't want to blame Trump, which I would do, but if you don't want to blame Trump, we came out of a pandemic, and out of the pandemic, it was supply shortages globally.
Yeah,
all these
global.
economies around the world are doing terrible.
Yeah.
They all wish they had the American economy. That means the country is actually going in the right direction. We ain't there yet, but it's going in the right direction. And if you're not part of, see, the thing is, we all grew up in this microwave generation, and we don't think long game. We don't think delayed gratification. We want it now. And it looks like the price of eggs is like, the price of eggs ain't that high. If you're buying organic, cage-free, and all this fucking specific non-GMO eggs, yeah, your joint might be $13.
Yeah, I'll be going to Sam's Club, bit. Yeah,
but Sam's Club be packed. I bet you be waiting in that line. It'd be like 20 people in line in front of you.
No cap. Sam's Club be deed, bro. No cap.
But the economy is terrible. We can't afford nothing. Bro, why you buying all of these freaking frozen popsicle sticks? Like 1,000, my guy? You need 1,000.
That's a lot of frozen popsicle sticks.
Like, at least go down to like 100. You know,
how many kids you got? Dang, that's crazy.
The economy is bad. You buy 100, but the thing is, they stock up. Yeah. Because you got the extra bread to stock up, so you can have extra joint in your joint. But like, no, the economy ain't bad. You know it ain't bad, but like, you feel like it's bad. So, anyways, the polls has always been locked up with all this fucking how you feel thing. But I say all that to get to the point where, like, we are here now. The election is over. Trump has won. Despite the statistics and the facts on the ground that I know, that intellectuals know.
Yeah.
The economy is doing great. The country is actually going in the right direction. Now, I had to come to the realization that there's a difference between intellectual and smart, right?
Mhm.
So my buddy used to always call Trump smart. I'm like, "No, Trump's not smart. He's an idiot. He's a dummy, right?" And I kept conflating.
I think I've argued with you about that too. I don't think he's
You may have
yeah,
you may have,
but my word was different though. I don't think he's
you might,
smart.
I think
he's
you used the
clever.
word cunning.
Yeah, he's
Clever and
cunning. Yeah, he's
Cunning and clever.
cunning. Yeah.
So, but the thing is that smart entails having a general sense of how things work. You know what I mean? Like you can have a smart ass landscape artist, right? Or landscape, or you can have a smart mechanic.
I see where you're going. Go
That
ahead.
don't mean he's an intellectual though.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
But he's smart. So it's like, oh, I was not crediting people enough for their smartness because I was conflating that with intellectual. And for intellectuals, which I fancy myself to be an intellectual, I look at numbers.
Foresight. Yeah, you look at numbers.
I look at numbers. I look at policy. I actually look at the data, right? And I project it into like the future and kind of like I don't
really
go by
difference,
vibes. I don't go by vibes.
Yeah.
As soon as I feel a vibe by something, I'm like, let me check the numbers on those vibes. That's what intellectuals do. That's what nerds do. That's what like academics do, right?
Yeah, they look into it.
They actually look into it. But the country ain't full of intellectuals,
and that's what I was saying. They're not,
and that's where that's why I didn't like really fully appreciate that. You know what I mean? That like I'm like, yo, Kamala's gonna win. Like, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers.
Nah.
Nigga, you the only one looking at numbers,
bro. I'll be honest. It actually dawned on me. I realized, and I basically explained the same thing earlier, like in my little soliloquy. But I just phrased it differently. Like when you look at, that's why I said the minority of voters are the informed. The minority, the majority,
which would be your intellectuals,
which would be So that's why I was like, that appears to be the case because
the majority voted for Trump,
and the fact that
they voted for Trump off of vibes,
and the fact that he won the popular vote and he won every single swing state.
Yep.
I was like, so that's why I was saying that. That's why I was saying that. I don't think people who voted for him are like idiots, but I think it does kind of like help your argument though, as far as the vibes go. Because I think a lot of people voted for like, I just want something different. I want to experience something different.
I want to experience and have a feel of something. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, so when you say
if you had America voting just straight off of numbers,
I can understand that.
You look at the unemployment rate, you look at the jobs rate, the job creation, you look at the inflation going down. You look at you look at the interest rate that's been going down, like soft landing. We're supposed to have a depression, a recession.
That's true. Yeah.
And we have a soft landing happening. They're cutting rates again.
So what would you call people who, which, and I kind of feel like I'm kind of in this boat a little bit. What would you call people who looked at those numbers and still was like, you know what? I want to see what this guy does with these numbers. What would you call those people who actually did? I will
call them a couple things. I will call it a couple things.
Okay.
The one of the first things that comes to mind is, you know what? You know how they like somebody who's gay or somebody who's like bi-curious.
Yeah.
Right. I in that sense, I would say like this person is like fascism curious.
Fascism curious is crazy.
Like
that is not where I was going with it.
Are they really gonna round niggas up? Gonna round niggas up? Like that is. Let me see this. Let me see.
because you know what? And the reason why I say that is because I think that that was a large block of voters, of folks who were just kind of like, I see what's going on.
But the thing, dog, it's like this, dog. I find it so funny because it's like I feel like Mr. Manhattan sometimes, dog. I'm looking at this joint, right?
Oh my god. Okay.
Keep going with me here. So I'm like,
I see where you're going.
I'm looking at this. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, it ain't gonna work out. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, yeah, y'all know that like since like World War II, like every time a Republican is in charge, there's inevitably a recession,
Mhm.
and then the Democrats come in afterwards and inevitably clean up. And that's not even me predicting that. That's
Mm,
history. Go
mm,
look at the numbers.
mm.
But guess what I just did? I just intellectualized that shit.
Yeah.
Because ain't nobody gonna go look at those numbers
Ain't nobody gonna look at
to know that
shit.
Obama cleaned that shit up.
Yeah.
Clinton cleaned that shit up.
Mhm.
Biden cleaned that shit up. That's why the numbers looking good now.
Mhm.
But those are numbers. America don't fuck with your numbers, you nerd. Dork. What's the matter with you? Nigga, we trying to get these stimmies. You know what I mean? And we trying to get these stimmy, and that stimmy is so temporary.
Mm.
It's one stimulus check. And like, but you get it. You specifically get it, and it's in your bank account.
Mm.
But like, bro, your whole neighborhood is better now because the Infrastructure Act. Because guess what? Now you have you was a dirt road, and now there's a paved road there
Mhm.
that the Infrastructure Act
Mhm.
paid for, and now your community has a street and a sidewalk.
Mhm.
But the Infrastructure Act is something that Biden did, and it's something that took years to do, and it's actually going to be in your neighborhood in like a year from now.
Yeah.
But you from the microwave generation, baby. You know what I mean? So you need to see that stimmy, because that stimmy coming right now. But
I don't
that's
know a
on
bit.
me. That's
Okay.
on me.
Okay.
That's on me. So let me get to the main point of the challenge here. And it's
Mhm.
that when it comes to accepting the election results, the first step is grief for
Mhm.
somebody who did not vote for Trump. I wore my Kamala hat. I've been supporting Kamala, and there's grief for a lot of people on that side that voted for Kamala. Even like, and I wouldn't even say on the left, or because a lot of Republicans voted for Kamala.
Mhm.
Liz Cheney was out there on the campaign trail freaking advocating for that joint.
Yeah.
And there was these secret ballots. There was a campaign ad that was like, showed guys that were like in pretty much USA gear, kind of like giving the Trump vibe,
Mhm.
and their wife would go into the booth and would like secretly
saw the
vote for
ad.
Kamala,
I saw that ad.
right?
Yep.
They did that on purpose because to say like, even Republicans, if you're historically Republican,
Mm.
it's okay. You don't have to tell anybody you voted for Kamala.
Mm.
Just do it in secret and vote for
Mm.
Kamala. So with that said, a lot of Republicans did vote for Kamala, right? The never Trumpers have been out there since before.
Yeah.
So whoever voted for her and it did win, you really do feel that you took an L. And that grief is real, and I want to validate that grief. Especially if grief is especially real when when you're losing something that you were attached to. You were attached to a specific outcome. You were attached to a candidate,
Okay, I'll give you that.
right?
I'll give you
And
that.
people legit cried. You know what I mean? Like you saw her when she gave her concession speech. They showed the audience. People were crying. That's still
Yeah.
grief.
Yeah. I
You may want to laugh at them because you put your hopes into a candidate like that, like
Yeah.
a human being like that.
Because if I'm being honest, that's how I looked at it. I was like, you really put your hope
You
into
could
it.
laugh at her up, but
Yeah.
if we're talking about the facts on the ground, this person felt grief. Look
Yeah,
at
I mean,
them.
and that,
You
and
might
that's what
think
I'm
it's
saying.
silly, but that person is hurting.
I did initially, yeah.
Okay.
Initially, I did think it was silly, but based on how you explained, I'm like, okay, I can see how people can experience real grief because I did thought it was silly. I was like, come on, y'all.
Of course. Yeah, I can
These
see
are,
that.
these are humans, like,
Right.
and
But
that's the
this
way I was looking at
person
it. But
felt
yeah,
that loss.
I
It
see
feels
what
like,
you're saying.
but it's not only because of
Yeah.
Kamala. They
Mhm.
might feel that, yo, I really did think this, or I still do think this guy is an existential threat to democracy.
Mhm.
And I fuck with democracy.
Mhm.
I really think this dude, like, I am pro-choice. I
Mhm.
want to have babies, but I
Mhm.
want to have safe environment to have babies.
Mhm.
But the way that he's moving, he's gonna close down a bunch of like gyno clinics because they're gonna fall under these rules of these things, and that's gonna be less access for me to freaking have a proper feminine care, right?
Mhm.
For the things that I need.
Mhm.
Or if I got raped or something, and I wanted to get an abortion, or I wanted to get a pill the day after just to get a pill.
Mhm.
And like I could see this guy being trampling on that. So somebody could feel like that's their near future. And they're like, yo, I wanted everything against this, and like this is gonna be my future now. So that's real grief for them.
Mhm.
And so all I'm doing, like I said, what I'm doing is validating that grief. It's a loss of hope, a loss of some dreams, a loss of certainty into this future that you thought was going to happen. There's like it got ripped up from under you. Imagine you're supposed to go to, you're supposed to go to Disney World, let's say, and then your parents come to you the next day like, oh, we're not going no more. That's grief. To a kid, a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old, that's grief. I'm not equating it to be something that mundane, but I'm just like throwing the example out there just to so folks can relate. This election showed us. It showed me, like I was saying earlier, intellectual versus smart, or pro freedom, and what does freedom mean to me versus what freedom means to that side or the other side. It really showed me America as it is. A lot of the ways that I was viewing America, especially through this election cycle, was how I think it should be, how I wanted it to be. You know what I mean? How I think I was like, almost rose-colored. I'm like, no, we're this way. I think America's this way, and I would still vote the same way I voted. But I thought there was America in terms of the majority was a particular way, and I
didn't think that.
I mean that's on me. I thought there was more. I thought there was more sensible to the numbers people than there are people that go by vibes.
Absolutely.
And apparently America mostly goes by vibes.
Bro, when Obama was first running, people were voting for him because he's black. Like, if that's not telling you that people be going off of I knew that back then. That's when I realized that like majority of voters in America.
But even though there was people voting for him intellectually.
Yeah, of course. I'm not denying it. I'm saying
but it happens the vibes and the intellectuals lined up that one time.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying like honestly, I'm really furthering your point actually by saying this. I'm saying that I was just saying giving it as an example of like one wave of time.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like so that's why I'm like that's when I knew.
That's my main point about that part though, is that I believe him when he talks.
Yes.
I don't interpret. I don't put sauce on it. I don't put hopes and wishes on it. Be like, I hope you don't do that. You gotta no. I take him at his word.
Okay.
That's what I do. That's me.
Okay.
Which to my main point,
all right.
My earlier point was America runs off vibes. Whereas intellectuals run off data. My data is he said that thing and I'm believing what he said. Vibes goes, he said that, boy. He like was feeling what he was kind of getting at, what he was like trying to do. He's trying to do this other thing. That's vibes. So I conceded that point miles ago. Data is he said the thing. I believe what he said the thing. He doesn't think she's both. That's data. Okay. Small point. All of that is all small point. To continue on, she had an uphill battle. She even had to the point where she had to defend her race. Just being a woman alone, never having had that before in the country as a president, another battle, right? So now she's a black presenting woman for the presidency. She was criticized for not giving enough interviews. She goes and does all the interviews. She had to set up a whole freaking like infrastructure, kind of like, well, the infrastructure was mostly there, but she had to set up her people and her moves and how she gonna move. She did the interviews. She don't do podcasts. She did podcasts. She don't answer questions. You had a debate toe to toe. She answered the questions right there at the debate. This dude talk about they eating dogs, they're eating the cats.
You did say that.
Clearly washed him in the debate.
Yeah.
Of all the categories, everything that they talked about in there. The dude was humming the whole time. He was on tilt. This is not a guy that I would want in a freaking high stakes negotiation with Hamas or high stakes negotiation with what North Korea is gonna do with now that they teaming up with Russia. Not if you like you getting like triggered by Kamala on the stage. You know what I mean? Real quick, just like because she said some shit about your rally size, and all of a sudden like, hold on now, forget all this stuff we talking about. My rally size is actually pretty decent. Like, dude, that's what you're stuck on? Okay. It was an uphill battle. She did the best she could. I squarely put the blame on Biden. Oh, matter of fact, but one other thing I was gonna say is the black men. They wanted to. They even blame black men for her chances of potentially losing before this
Yeah,
even happened.
that had me tight. I ain't gonna lie. It's like, don't, no.
Black men voted for her 75%.
Yeah, I'm like, don't
So
put this.
black men, it did drop off a little bit, but
Mhm.
bro, it ain't drop off that much. It went from like
Yeah.
I think Biden might have had something like 80% or 81%.
Yeah, it went 5%. Just went down 5%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's still all the
But
black.
it's still
But you know what she
75%
did?
black men.
You know what she did? She
Mm.
went and campaigned to black men. She went on with Charlemagne. She went on Club Shay Shay.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? She went to campaign. So she did all the things she had to do.
Mhm.
She went to everything. She answered all the questions. People say, "Do you have policy?" Go to the website. This policy.
Mhm.
You go to this interview and that interview. She's talking about policy. How do I know about the freaking $50,000 for freaking small businesses startups? How do I know about the freaking child tax credit thing? How do I know
I
about
saw
the
that in the
freak?
policy. 25,000
Yeah, how do
for
I
like
know
first
about the
gen homeowners and all that.
yeah, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And how do I know about the freaking home health care aid? She's trying to give money to them. You
Mhm.
know, for people that got to take care of their grandparents and the kid at the same time. How do
Mhm.
I know about that? Because I read up on it. Because I saw the interviews.
Yeah.
She was putting that stuff out there. You had to be willfully like not looking into it if you didn't see it. But okay, fine.
Yeah.
Again, it was only a couple months of the campaign. Still, it might not have matriculated to everybody, right? But at the end of the day, Biden didn't give her the best chance. Biden didn't give anybody the best chance. That fool should have dropped out since 2022 after the midterms. After the midterms, Biden should be like, yo, I'm still president, but I said I was going to be a transitional president from the jump. I'm going to stick to it, and I'm not running for reelection.
Yeah, he said that. He did say that. He did say that.
He said he was going to do that. He didn't do it.
Mhm.
That fool really came out like, you know what? I think I got another one in me. Like, my
Felt
guy,
he-
you was
felt like he had some
already
pep in his
like,
step, man.
these freaking old people, we talked about it since day one on this show.
Yeah, bro.
These old heads got to fucking go.
Yeah, they
They gotta realize when the time is up, yo, you did your Dougie.
Mm-hmm.
You had your time in the sunshine. You got to give up power.
Mm.
Biden was never really nice with it. The only reason he won I think any Democrat, I think Kamala could have won last time, actually. I think Hillary Clinton could have came back and won in 2020. Biden won because Trump did such an abysmal job with COVID. He mishandled COVID so much, and it was like glaringly happening as we spoke. The election happened under the gaze of a pandemic. I think anybody would have beat him at that point.
I think it was more so. I think Biden won more so because he had a better message as far as.
Nope. That nigga was nope. He was not nice with it. I did not swear. He was losing until Jim Clyburn in South Carolina endorsed him, and then he was losing. He didn't win the primaries. Not before South Carolina. And then he got the endorsement.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Got the endorsement.
He got the endorsement later
and then everybody coalesced behind Biden. He's the next up. They crowned his ass. And Kamala couldn't stand to that. At that point, she dropped out.
Yeah.
She's one of the earliest who dropped out. Anybody could have beat Trump.
Yeah. You're right. Actually, you're right. I was thinking about a different
anybody could have beat Trump. So Biden was never even that nice with it, right? Okay, because the it was just so like palpable how bad Trump was.
I don't think she would have been our candidate though.
What happened?
I don't think she would. I don't think she would have been our candidate.
She could have been. It was a primary. Whoever came out, whatever.
That's true. Yeah, she
would have had a better shot.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Whoever came, I think she would have probably came out. She probably would have won the primary. One of the things that people were saying that they don't really know her because yes, the VP is pretty much like an anonymous position. Like nobody really all the time knows what VP does unless you're like a strong VP like Dick Cheney was, right? Yeah. You hardly remember who freaking Ronald Reagan's VP was, right? Or anybody else. Or like, you know what I mean? Like it's hard for people to remember Clinton's VP was Al Gore. Right, they're like,
I remember
him as the climate guy. But they just know him as the climate guy. They don't really
because he kind of like had a name to him because he's a climate guy. So
but like you remember him as the climate guy. You probably a lot of people don't remember he used to be VP.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he was actually VP.
But with that said, so whoever came out of the primaries, we would have had a primary. They would have been vetted. They would have been on TV. They would have been had 2 years in the game to put together a proper campaign, and they would have had a better shot. at beating Trump. Now, America could have still been on vibes, and at the same time, at that, with that said, 4 years removed from 2020, like yeah, you beat Trump in 2020 because you feeling that visceral reaction to what's going on at the time. But 4 years removed, people started being like, it wasn't that bad. I was doing better back then than I was doing now. I don't think like there was a whole pandemic. I don't think he was. There's a lot of small businesses that are shut down and not to open again because they took an L during the pandemic. And but the further away from that history, 4 years away, you can't really remember how bad things were, how bad you felt, how much you got tired of hearing this nigga's voice. Trump, like every time he's always on TV, he's always saying something like, bro, just, if you're gonna be president, be quiet, at least go do something, but like, no, people got tired of it, right? But 4 years removed, you don't feel that way again. But at the end of the day, I squarely put that blame on Joe Biden. For someone who has 34 felony convictions, who was impeached twice, who is awaiting sentencing, by the way, still awaiting sentencing.
Yep.
That's for being found guilty. Had a whole insurrection on January 6th. A person like that, if you was black, you would be probably in your 3rd year in Rikers or some prison right now. You would be in prison.
What do you mean 3rd year Rikers? They'll be under the jail, man.
Under the whole jail.
They will be under the jail, man. Like
right. You'll be in your 3rd years because
in your 3rd year under the jail.
2021 what happened? Immediately to prison, my guy.
Come on, bro. Come on.
Immediately.
I keep saying, bro, we're in 2 Americas, man. We know how it go. We all know how it go, man. Like,
and Kamala was running against this guy. So fuck 110 days. Bro, 10 days. You should beat this guy, that person with that resume.
Yeah, but you don't want Michelle Obama in that bit though.
No, fuck that shit. No, you skipping ahead. You skipping ahead.
My bad.
But this guy, America decided that we're not only going to hire this guy who has all those things that I just rounded up. The dude had secret documents in the bathroom, boxes, classified boxes of documents in the bathroom next to the bidet. We saw the pictures.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw
the pictures.
Yeah.
And we would rather have him than this qualified black woman. She earned her way to DA. She earned her way to the freaking district to the Attorney General in California.
Yep.
She earned her way to the Senate. And she's actually been sitting as VP, gaining that experience with foreign dignitaries and all that kind of stuff. And she had already foreign experience, with the whole cartels and stuff like that, the international drug cartels.
Especially being Attorney General of California.
In California.
She's gonna have a lot of experience.
She had experience. She was experienced. She was smart. She's a smart lady. Passing the bar ain't easy. And niggas in America still voted for Trump.
I don't think people had an issue with her. I don't think people had an issue with her merits or anything like that. I just think people wasn't rocking with her. But I think people just weren't rocking with her.
That's fine. But rocking with her is a word for vibe. That's a
yeah, that's what it is.
You wasn't vibe.
Jeff,
you keep bringing this point up, and I'm like not disputing it. I'm like not disputing ever.
Yeah,
America runs on vibes, and as a black qualified woman for the job, I want to, and black women knew this already, but I guess I'm just not realizing America don't fuck with y'all. America do not fuck with y'all.
I think it's because black
women.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's because black men have experienced that so much. It's like we just. I think, and this is also like just adding to your point. Like it's just, bro, we've always seen this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think because black men, we've always been on that end of it as well, where it's kind of like,
yeah, but a black man became president of the United States, Jeff.
Yeah, I feel that, but it's like
A black man
bro,
became now, mind you,
but I don't, but
mind you, he
feel,
was
I don't feel any more. I don't feel any more like lifted or or encouraged or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like it almost feels like, oh, like
it don't matter about your courage, Jeff.
it's
Again, like
no,
okay,
no,
this is
no,
a
not
separation
courage,
between vibes
not
and
courage. I said
intellectualism.
encourage.
The
I
data,
said
what does the
encourage
data
as a
show
black,
about black men
man.
in America in terms of presidency?
One
What does
black
the
man.
data show?
The data show that one black man became president. That's what the data
Exactly.
show. It shows that.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm not dismissing that. I'm just saying I think it's because it kind of feels like, and I'm not trying to sound like
It ain't
I'm
never gonna be no
dismissing.
black woman
It's just,
president in America, dog.
but
I'm gonna save you some time.
and that's what I'm
That's
kind of getting
never
at. It's like
happening.
I'm like, bro, like it's just that just might not be the case here. That just might
It's n-
that might be what
that's
it
what I'm
is
getting
here.
to.
And that's what I was
That's
getting.
what
I
it
was
is.
like, and I think and I think for a time, that black men accepted that. And to have a black man as president, we were just kind of like, oh crap, we didn't know this was gonna happen. I think it,
But-
and I'm not saying that black women should expect that. I'm just saying that, listen, like we might have to be realistic that this is just not the country.
This
It's just not the country for it.
This is not. It's
It's
not
just not the country
happening.
for it. That's why, and that's
Okay.
what I'm saying to black women. I'm saying black
Uh,
women should probably accept that this is just probably not the country for it.
Well. I'll be careful about some of these words here. I wouldn't
Man,
necessarily.
I'm just keeping it real. This is America, bro. We know what we living
This
at.
is America.
We know what we
America has
living
shown
at.
us it is a
They've
white
shown us this.
nationalist patriarchy.
Wait,
Straight up.
we've
White
seen this.
nationalist. This is America.
I'm not just making this up. You know what I'm
Patriarchy.
saying? Like, yeah, I'm not
Black
just making
women
this up. Like, it's like, bro,
Don't
like,
fall for the okie doke. It ain't happening. Stacey
Listen.
Abrams was way more qualified
bro.
for that job in Georgia, that governorship of Georgia. It ain't
I
happening.
mean, I'm saying that black woman has to be so, like,
It
she got to be
the-
so fired, bro. Like,
no,
like-
no, I don't care. I don't care.
that's the only- that's the
who
only-
people
that's
say,
the only way you have a
people would say
chance, I
was so
guess.
fire is, and I know people have been trying to toss her in the ring, is Michelle Obama.
yeah,
And hell
that's
no.
probably the best bet.
Michelle Obama is like an icon to me.
That's probably
I
the
would
best bet,
never
man.
allow, I would freaking put my,
I don't know, man.
I'm going to be on the front lines anti Michelle Obama because I
No,
do
man.
not want her to take that L.
But
She is too precious to me.
she might
Do
push
not
her,
do not do it, Michelle. Don't
might
let
put-
these suckers talk you into that joint.
she might be able to bring black women over the hump, man. She might be
No,
able to get them over the hump.
She
man.
won't. She won't. She won't. No. It
I,
ain't,
fe- I feel like if
this-
there's any, I feel like if there's
this
any
ain't-
one,
no,
if there's
this
anyone,
ain't the country. Stop.
bro, if there's any one black woman, bro, I think she probably got what it takes, man. All right, so in line with the one of the bigger themes of the show, in regards to everything surrounding voting and election and all that, there's a particular group that made quite a bit of noise. Bro, do you want to go ahead and explain
I
further?
don't, it was a pretty big surprise for a lot of
Mhm.
folks, but there
It
is
was surprising.
growing support among Latino voters for Trump.
Mhm.
You would think that when he first came down the escalator, he's like talking about Mexicans, you know what I mean? They're sending rapists and drug dealers and some of them I assume are good people, but that's what he would say, you know what I mean? And like automatically like demonizing those people, and everybody at the border talking about they have what was it, one of the Republicans said something about like people coming to the border have like calves the size of cantaloupes
Yeah,
because they're bringing drugs
because
because they're bringing drugs
Yeah.
into the country and stuff. Despite all that, and then we also had the thing we talking about Puerto Rico, right? With that Puerto Rico joke, call it Puerto Rico an island of garbage.
Mhm.
The Latino voters, was not affected by that. Traditionally
Really?
they have voted Democratic. They were a Democrat stronghold. But lately it's been shifting, particularly in these battleground states, that Latino voters are, well, generally they've all already been, you're from the islands or you're from,
Yeah.
Latin America or Central America, you tend to be more religious, tend
Yeah.
to be more
That's why I was-
conservative
that's why I
in terms
was-
of like
I-
social issues.
That's why it wasn't surprising to me, because I'm like, they are
Yeah.
just naturally just within the
Man,
culture,
it's
they are-
got to be
they are
surprising.
traditional.
No, dog. It's got to be surprising when when Trump
really.
won Latino men by 12 points,
Mhm.
right? When so Trump won Latino men by 12 points.
Mhm.
Biden won Latino men by 23 points.
Mhm.
How is that not surprising? That's a 35-point swing in one election. That's
Yeah,
not
that's true.
surprising.
Yeah.
35-point swing.
I guess in a way,
That's not
I mean, I
surprising.
guess it's I guess in a way, I mean, for me is just
That's
not,
how they
'cause
made it sound like black men were voting. That's,
Yeah, yeah.
that's how they made it sound like black men were
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. So for me, it wasn't because I guess because just what I thought about when it came to Latino folks and just their culture.
Yeah, but they
I was like,
still, because they're still their culture, they still
Mhm.
voted Democratic mostly,
oh, okay, that's
right?
fine.
Because they're the issues that matter to them, they still voted, but like
Mm.
not no more.
Mm.
Places like Texas, Arizona, Florida, the Latino population is pretty significant.
Mm.
And Trump in this one county in Florida, Osceola County,
Osceola, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Which is heavy with Puerto Ricans specifically.
Yes.
And we talked about, I mentioned earlier how like, that one comedian made a joke about Puerto Rico,
Mm.
and then Trump went and put on a garbage, like he was driving a garbage truck,
Yeah.
and he put on like a sanitation worker
Mm.
like vest,
Yeah, those safety vests. Yeah.
right? And he was like, to show that because Biden had said something about, he inarticulately said that the guy who was making that joke was a garbage person, or his joke was garbage, and whoever supports him was garbage. But like it kind of sounded like he was saying the same thing, like when Hillary was like, "Oh, half of the people that vote for Trump are in a basket of deplorables."
Yes.
So it made it sound like Biden was saying like they're garbage. People who vote for Trump are garbage.
Mhm.
So Trump was playing
Yeah,
off of
media
that when he
ran
did
with
the
that.
garbage truck thing, but the Latino voters didn't know that Biden said that, because Biden has been pretty quiet, even though he's still, every time he opens his mouth, he says something fucking stupid. But like, they just saw Trump riding around the garbage truck, and they're like, "Yo, is he doubling down?" So a lot of people thought he was doubling down.
Mhm.
They saw him doing that stunt. Either way, they voted in Osceola County. Biden won this county by nearly 14 points. Biden won this county by 14 points. Hillary won it by 25 points.
Mm.
From 25 points, Biden wins it by 14. So clearly you see a shift in
Yeah,
happening.
there's a shift there. Yep.
Trump won it this time by 2 points.
Mm.
So there's no
getting redder.
dispute. There's no
Getting redder.
dispute. Like Trump
Mhm.
actually won that county. Latino voters have swung to the right.
They absolutely are trending to the right for sure.
They are trending to the right. They're swung to the right. They are on the right now. They're not completely, because I think I don't think the majority. Let me see check my stats here.
Mhm.
Yeah, the majority of Latino men still voted for Democrats, 50 to 47.
Yeah.
But that's mad tight than it was before.
Mhm.
And Latino women, 60 to 38.
Mhm.
Voted for Democrats 60%.
Mhm.
But it was a lot better. Looked a lot better for Democrats before.
Mhm.
It's surprising to me, but a lot of these Latino voters like talk about immigration being like one of the top
Yeah.
issues
Yeah.
for them.
This is what I thought was
They
interesting.
don't like the
because-
way the Biden administration is handling immigration.
Yeah, they don't like that. They don't like it at all. That's actually one of the things that they've advocated the most about. The thing I found interesting about this is, I was talking to a friend about this, and I was like, if you think about it, like in a kind of like in a nuanced way, like the folks who immigrate here, like from Central America, El Salvador, these different places, they're trying to get away from the experiences that they've experienced in those countries as far as the violence and all that stuff goes, right? And they probably become staunch advocates of immigration, or at least how it's being done, because some of those folks might even know who the perpetrators and offenders and the criminals
Yeah,
are.
but
You
at the
know
same
what I'm
time,
saying?
you got here, and
But it's
it
like-
feels
but-
like a
but-
lot of pulling up
but
the
it
ladder
feels-
behind you.
And that's what I was gonna say. And that's why I said, like, that's why I use the word specific, like in a weird, nuanced way. You can kind of see like what the motivation is, but at the same time, it's kind of like My folks are good, but y'all be all right. We good, but y'all be all right. You know what I'm saying? Like
Son,
it,
it
it's
really.
so it gave me in conclusion. I'm saying this to say like in conclusion, it gave me more of like a crabs in a barrel kind of dog eat dog
Well,
world
it's not
kind of
crab in the
thing.
barrel because
You
they
get me?
made it out.
Yeah,
Crabs in
yeah,
a
but
barrel,
they made
crabs
out
in
the
a
barrel.
prevents no crabs in the barrel prevent any crab from climbing out the barrel because they be clinging on each other.
Right. Okay. So
That's why I said pulling up the ladder
okay,
after
so
you climbed out.
okay, so say like a crab is using a ladder, right?
Okay.
The crab made out the barrel using the ladder,
Okay.
and he pulled the ladder.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
And he pulled the ladder. So
Yeah,
let's
I'm
do
with you
that.
now.
So that's kind of
Because crabs are notorious with these ladders, bro.
yeah. They are.
So all sideways with the ladder and whatnot.
They would not let go of the
Nah,
ladder.
Let me get this. Let me get this. I got
Look
this.
at that.
Let
Yeah.
me get that. Let me get that. You don't need that. You're good.
Yeah.
No,
So,
but like, but
it
but
kinda
at the
has that
same time
feeling.
though, but at the same time, like they still have family members in that barrel.
yeah, true.
But
true.
and they want to look out for their family members.
Mm.
So you can't really be pulling up the ladder like that. But they kind of out. They kind of are because
Mm.
Trump is promising mass deportation. My guy, he said it
Mm.
again. I believe people when they say something.
Mhm.
You like when you do if you do something different, that'll be a surprise. I'll be like, oh snap, I'm surprised.
Mhm.
But going into it,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be like you told me what time it was. I'm gonna take you on. That's what time it is.
Mhm.
And Trump promised mass deportation, but these Latino voters was like, but I'm not a criminal. Like, okay, if you don't think you're gonna get swept up, because there's a lot of Hispanics that voted for Trump last time, you know what I mean? And they got swept up and like they might have cleared their name eventually, but it's like
Yeah.
you get pulled over by a cop because he thinks you look like an immigrant or you
Oh,
look
yeah.
like you're illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may get cleared up at the end of the day, but you're already arrested. You're already
Mm.
into this camp. You got to get a lawyer, and you get cleared. But like, it took you like 3 months of your life, and all this freaking like $10,000.
Mm.
Hey, if you feel like you got the bread, and it'll be worth it for that time. But you know what? You niggas gonna fuck around and find out.
Yeah,
they got
most
you.
people. Yeah.
According to a Pew Research study, 75% of Hispanics in the U.S. referred to the increase in the number of migrants over the southern border as a major problem or crisis, with 74% saying that they were critical of how Biden was handling it. So it matters to them. It's very important to them. And I think at the end of the day, they voted that way.
Mhm.
We see the numbers that I just read about the percentage of Latino men and women that voted for Trump, and how much they swung to the right.
Yep.
So I think in conclusion for my analysis of the election, like where it all went wrong,
Mhm.
I think one, that Latino vote like really swung to the right.
Mhm.
And two, there's like 10 million people that voted for Biden because like Trump just won. He actually got less votes this time and won than he got last time. He got less votes than himself.
Mhm.
But you know who got even lesser votes than that? Kamala.
Yeah.
10 million people that voted for Biden
Mhm.
did not show up for Kamala.
Yeah, that's a lot of people that was like, I'm not voting at all.
I'm just not voting at all.
Just not voting at
So
all.
I've used this analogy before. It's like Trump is on his way to the White House. He's on this bicycle. He's on some vehicle on his way to the White House. The White House is downhill. You can vote for Trump. That's like putting a battery in his back. That's like giving him that pre-workout drink. Give him the shot, right? That Nas.
Yeah.
If you vote for him, you're helping him get there. You can vote for Kamala, which is in opposition to him. So that's like adding a speed bump. And you know what? The more speed bumps you add, the more he loses momentum, and he's just not gonna make it down the road there to the White House, right? Because he's pedaling, he's trying to get there. The third option is to not do nothing. And all that does is clear. You could have been a speed bump, but you're not. You're just gonna clear the way for Trump to get to the White House. And the 10 million people that did not vote for Kamala, when they voted for Biden. So they're, they're Democratic curious. You know what I mean? They could vote. They could go out there and vote left again. They voted for Biden last time. They chose to stay home. They cleared the path. And with the battery that the Latino voters put in Trump's back and the path being clearer than it was last time,
Mhm.
Kamala never stood a chance, bro. And she a black woman in America, she never stood a chance. These people didn't even
That's what
show.
I'm
These people
saying.
did. These people chose not to even get off their couch.
Mhm.
They're like, yeah, Trump could be president, but I'm not inspired to go vote for her.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit this one out. Stay at home.
How many?
Sure.
How many? How
10
many?
million
10 million people. How many? What would you say if you can give a percentage of those voters that didn't vote?
that voted for Biden that didn't vote for Kamala.
Well, let me rephrase
Because
it.
that's what the 10 million is.
Yeah,
They
so
voted for Biden,
Mhm.
but they did
But they
not
did not
come
vote.
out for Trump either, but they just did not vote.
Okay, so they did not vote at all.
Yeah.
How many? How many? If you can give a percentage of those 10 million people who did not cast their ballots, what would you attribute to is the largest reason for that? Like, is it more of like, I don't like any candidates? Is it more of like, I'm not really feeling her as a candidate? Is it more like what would you say is
Okay,
probably the largest reason, reason for that
I
happening?
would say it's probably they didn't like her because even if they're not Democrats,
Mm-hmm.
they voted for Biden.
Mm-hmm.
10 million. I'm not saying all 10 million were Democrats. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm saying 10 million voted for Biden that did not show up at all.
The same 10 million that voted for Biden did not show up at all.
Did not show up for
Okay.
her. So
Okay.
you can't for an election, you got to give people a reason to vote for you.
Yeah.
Or maybe be so scared that they want to vote against this other person.
Yeah.
So you have that choice. You can make somebody very scared,
Mm-hmm.
or you can inspire them. Hope and change. That's what Obama did. To like leave
Yeah,
their
that's how he
house.
won for sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know if scaring people is enough to make them leave their house. Because a lot of that was like, yo, he's a threat to democracy. He said this, he's doing that. He's going to take away women's rights. Michelle Obama gave an amazing speech about abortion rights and women's rights and gynecological access
Mm-hmm.
to medical facilities and stuff. But all that was like the scaring kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you might have scared some women. You might have scared, but like it was mostly men
I think
that stayed at home.
Yeah, I think most men are like, you're not gonna move me to
Yeah.
want to vote. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah.
that's not a way to
They
rally
might
them
have
to
been
go
hip
vote for
on
you.
like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna support Trump. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
vote for him. But you got to get this dude inspired to get out the house.
Yeah,
And
yeah. That's
we
not even
know
more to
again,
get
we're
out the
gonna say
house.
this
Yeah.
as a chorus. It's a white, it's a white nationalist
It's
patriarchy.
white man's nation for sure.
It's a white man. You have to somehow
White man's
appeal
nation.
and get this white man to get up off his couch and come
Yeah.
vote for you.
Mm-hmm.
We know this now. This is
Yeah.
what the country is.
Mm-hmm.
And
doing that
all
for a
that stuff
while.
he was doing was maybe getting white women to support you.
Mm-hmm.
He was maybe getting white women to be scared of Trump to come out and vote to get out the house. But you didn't inspire enough white men to get up off their couch to come vote for you.
Yeah.
And that's where we lost it. That's where the Dems lost it. That's where the left lost it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you a black woman too. Like sorry, it's over. It's a wrap for you. So that's with that said, though, I'm gonna move on right into the next topic here. We're talking about immigration, and how it matters to Latino voters. It matters, I think, and it should matter to a lot more people that we get our immigration system right.
Yeah. Immigrants
are vital to economic growth in this country. You see what happened with Springfield. That's just a case. In Springfield, of course, went for Trump, by the way. We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, we did say that actually.
As much as they love the Haitians that supposedly live in their community and all that kind of stuff, they still wouldn't have voted for Trump. As much as JD Vance and Trump lied about their community, caused all kinds of bomb threats to happen to the schools in the community, to shut down schools and all this in turmoil. The mayor had to come out and be like, yo, this is not happening. People are not eating a dog. Everything is fine. We might have had some couple of speed bumps. There are speed bumps. There are a couple there's this large population of immigrants coming here. We need some infrastructure. Yeah. It's not going to say it's all going to be like smooth and easy peasy off the jump, but like off a balance though, the balance is that the immigrants was really helping this city out, right?
Absolutely.
It was for their benefit. Now, these immigrants do a lot of things that people don't want to do. Nobody wants to pick their own goddamn strawberries. You know what I mean? Like, like we say,
Picking
we just want
watermelons
that
and all that. Yeah,
watermelons and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
You know, they do, and they do other key jobs too. Like freaking Elon Musk is an immigrant. I love him. You know, freaking got now y'all drive me out Teslas and freaking U.S. economy is booming because
Mhm.
that's where they're made here in U.S. This guy is an immigrant from South Africa,
Absolutely.
right? I don't even know if he's a citizen. I don't even know if he voted. He
That's
might not
that's
even.
a good question.
He might not even still didn't file for a citizenship. Maybe he has dual citizenship. I don't know. But either way, you know,
He probably has dual citizenship.
immigrants help the country in other ways too. There's a declining birth rate. We've known this for a while. The more
Yes.
population that gets educated, go to
Good
college. We
point.
talk about these HBCUs.
Mhm.
You know, if your population growth isn't keeping up with the demand of what your economy needs, guess who fills in that backstop? Immigrants. If you, as a population, are getting more educated, you're getting more savvy, more technical acumen under your belt, you're doing less of the manual labor stuff. You need people to
Yes.
do those jobs. You need people to do that work. That's what immigrants are for. When that bridge collapsed in Baltimore,
Key bridge.
that key bridge,
Mhm.
it was some immigrants that died in that joint
Yep.
because they was working overnight, that late shift,
Mhm.
getting your roads paved, fixing that pothole, fixing whatever maintenance they had to do there.
Yep.
There's immigrants doing that kind of stuff at some terrible ass hour, but you don't want to do it. You would rather not do it. I mean, some of y'all might still want to do that kind of job, but a lot of people not doing that kind of job no more.
Yeah.
And they willing to do it. And in the quiet of the night, not bothering nobody. Talking about they bringing crime. Nigga, you know how much how you know the coyotes I had to pay to get to this country? You know the desert that I had to walk through? I don't even know how to
For
swim.
real.
And I had to get through that river.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna come over here and steal something out of your bodega?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nigga. I'm being quiet.
Mm.
I'm under the radar.
Most
I don't
yeah,
want-
for the most part, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
That's
it's,
the immigrants are the least in terms of crime in this
Bruh.
country.
and you know what's so crazy about that? I don't think I've met in obviously we're obviously children of immigrant parents. And I don't think I've met an immigrant that was like not trying to stay low.
Trying to stay
You
low
feel
key,
me?
bro.
Just trying to
The
stay
last
low.
thing I
You
need
know
is
what
the
I'm saying? Like,
cops on my tail.
I think anybody I know, you know what I'm saying? They all trying to stay. And I know some currently now. They all staying low. All of them, bro. So
all of them from Africa, probably right now.
Yeah,
DC
yeah.
area. You know what I mean? These
Big facts.
Nigerians
big
out
fact.
here,
bro,
getting their education. They overstaying their visas because
Bruh.
they got their, but they over here stay. They overstaying their visas and all that stuff because another thing they're gonna say is that immigrants are entrepreneurs. They start new businesses.
Yeah.
Because guess
Yeah.
what? They don't necessarily have the papers that they need to get the legit regular job or whatever.
Mhm.
So what they do? They start a company.
Start a business. Yeah.
They start a
company.
business.
Yeah.
Your house is being cleaned right now by some immigrants that started a small business.
Yep.
To make their way.
Mhm.
Right. So now that small business is paying taxes.
Yep.
That
And
they can't even benefit from because they can't got the papers to get the freaking
Yeah.
Social Security.
But it gives them more what's the word? More I don't want to say leverage, but it gives them more of a reason to be able to get those visas though, right? Because they're actually paying taxes. No, right?
It
So
gives them-
it kind of helps it kind of helps them at least
They want to try.
that
They
way.
want to try to do that because they're going to be
Yeah.
paying the taxes.
Yeah.
When they go to your grocery store, they pay the taxes in
They
that
pay the
grocery store and
taxes
they buy
for
stuff.
sure.
And they're not going to
sure.
reap the Social Security benefits. They're not going to
Yeah.
get Medicare. They
They're not
can't
getting
get
none
that
of that,
stuff
Yeah.
because they don't have like Social Security number. A lot of
But they are contributing to the
especially if you're
economy for sure.
undocumented.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
if you're undocumented.
Yeah.
Even when we talk about in Springfield again, the Haitian restaurants that opened up there, right?
Yes.
Now you get a new restaurant in your community.
Mm-hmm.
B, that building that didn't have a tenant,
Has a tenant
they
now.
paying lease.
Yeah.
They paying lease. You own that building, right?
Yep.
So you would want a tenant.
Mhm.
Boom, there you go. The electric company now has this new freaking customer that's paying into the utilities for that.
Absolutely. That water utility company.
That water.
Yep.
You know what? They need bunun, right?
Yes.
Guess what? Guess where they're buying it from?
Mhm.
Your local farmer.
The local farmers. Yep. They need the meat.
That's where they get in the planted. They need the meat.
It's the butcher shop. Now the butcher shop got business.
What do you think the restaurant just invents food out of magic?
Yeah.
Haitian restaurants out of voodoo? They just invent griot?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah. For real. Yeah.
They need menus
Yeah.
printed. Oh,
Yeah.
guess what? You got a Kinko's or a freaking FedEx shop, whatever, in your neighborhood. That's jobs that they're helping immigrants help the economy along, right?
Mhm.
Studies show that immigrants, particularly those who are working age, contribute more in taxes than they receive in government benefits, thus providing a net
absolutely.
positive
Mhm.
impact on public finances. Now, like I said before, yes, there are concerns. There are, if you drop a bunch of new people that don't speak the language, that have different
Yeah.
culture, that have different
Mhm.
insight in how the world moves into a space, you're gonna need some interpreters, right?
Yeah.
They don't know exactly how to drive specifically in your community. You're gonna have an accident. That can happen. It's not to say but this is why we need a robust, well thought out immigration plan to get people here legally as best we can,
Mhm.
and to get them on a pathway to citizenship, and people that are coming illegally, that are skirting the system, being able to have a smart system that could filter those people out, to discourage illegal immigration, to discourage illegal border crossing. We need to shore up our border agents. We need to get more technology on at the border to be able to spot people, and to freaking have drones flying around, whatever you got to do to be able to like discourage that. And you got to stop what's happening in other countries and help support their economies over there by doing business with them, by probably even giving some aid to them, so that people have a reason to stay in those countries, that they don't come over here in the first place. But all of that comes with a very robust immigration plan.
But that's
you can't have concepts of a plan with something like this.
So, but this is, bro. But we've been talking about this for decades, bro. Why haven't we coming up with a?
There was a
immigration
plan on the table that was already supported and co-written by Republicans.
Mhm.
Some of the most conservative. This is the most conservative border policy plan that was on the table. There was voting on it in Congress. Trump came out and he's pressured Republicans not to vote for it, because he needed the issue to be live while he's running for president.
Okay.
So you're saying what?
Okay.
He specifically said don't do it, and the Republicans was like, okay, Trump doesn't want us to freaking pass it. They was about to pass it.
So is it a bill that's still is it like in purgatory right now? Like
done. No, it's done. It's dropped. It got voted down.
Asking those questions.
There was Republicans that came out and was mad. Like they came out under like background. They didn't put their names to it. They were arguing with each other and mad at each other, calling each other names, because they negotiated this thing. They got everything that they wanted. It was a really conservative border policy. And they were like, this guy, they was cursing at each other for scuttling the bill because of Trump's request. They were mad at each other. The Republicans was. Because Trump wanted them to kill the bill, and they did it. Because he needed as an issue for the election. And look, the Latinos was like, yo, immigration is a problem. It wasn't just Latinos. A lot of Americans was like, yo, immigration is a problem.
I see the play.
And now, perhaps he could come in and be like, yo, what's up with that bill? Remember that one bill? Yeah, let's go ahead and sign that. They could bring it back, and he'll sign it. And so the border will be fixed. And then guess what? Guess who will get the trophy and the parade for it?
Name on it. Yep.
Trump will.
I see the play.
America runs on vibes. Nobody knew that this was already there. The statistics were there. This was negotiated under Democrat authority. Biden was gonna sign it. It was there. It was done. Kamala even said she will sign it into law if she became president. She said she's gonna do it. They didn't want it. And now he's gonna get the credit for it. Straight up. But if you run off vibes, you don't know those details.
Hmm.
You said the immigration is terrible? Here, let's fix it. Oh, he doesn't want us to fix it. That's him. That's him, right? You see that's him? No, you don't see that? Okay, fine. How do you fight against that?
Hmm.
How do you fight against that? Um, while acknowledging the cost of immigration, like I said before, you're gonna need some interpreters. You're gonna need some infusion of cash into that community. It ain't just you just drop a bunch of people, 20,000, 30,000 people in a couple of years in a spot from foreign land and expect it all go smoothly. But while acknowledging that, this is why we would need a comprehensive immigration policy in the at the end of the day, the benefits. Dog, Ronald Reagan, his final speech, Ronald Reagan was like, our country is better off by welcoming immigrants.
Yes.
You're also more competitive around the world. What better than to have these immigrants come here, study at your schools, and you boom, you slap a visa right at the end of that bit, make them stay right here instead of going back to Singapore, instead of going back to China. Stay here.
I mean, Singing got it going on in tech, but I
And-
see,
and-
I see what you're saying.
Why
though.
not suck it up over here
Yeah.
and come through and make them stay here?
No, I see what you're saying.
Why let them go back to Thailand? Yo, no, we got you. Matter of fact, we're gonna give you a freaking free condo. Free condo. Come through with a visa. And next you know, you're the next freaking Elon Musk. You're the next Nvidia. You're the next freaking Microsoft.
Mm.
Building it here in America. Why would I want you to go back and do that in India? I thought this was America first. You know what I mean? Fuck them. Yeah, we're gonna take your brains. We're gonna take all your brains over here and
think-
incentivize immigration.
Isn't that kind of what he ran on to though? About bringing American businesses back here to America?
That's American business. I'm talking about immigration,
You
Jeff.
just took my general. Okay. Well,
Immigration. That's what you talking about there is repatriation. That's like an
Okay.
American
Okay,
entity
there's
that's
a name.
doing
There's a
business
name
over
for
there
everything. Okay.
and bringing it back here.
Yeah.
We're talking
okay.
about immigration because this is something we didn't have. This is a body, this is a mind, this is a brain that we didn't have, bringing it here. We
Okay.
had those companies here before, you know what I mean? So that's different.
Okay.
Repatriation.
Okay.
All of this I just spoke about, you can read up more on it at the George W. Bush Institute journal. There was a journal called The Catalyst that they wrote all this on. I'm reading from the Republican playbook
Mhm.
about how immigration benefits. This is what I'm saying. This was different. Now they want to round up immigrants. MAGA wants to round up immigrants, put them in concentration camps, sort them out, and deport them. Some people about to get deported. They ain't never been to Guatemala before. Some people never grew up in Haiti before. Some people never grew up in Bahamas. Wherever they're going to deport in Sierra Leone. They're deporting. They're going to be deporting people.
Mhm.
You a millennial? You never been over there. You don't even hardly speak the language. You don't speak French. You don't speak Creole. You don't speak Portuguese. Hey, let God sort them out. They say, right? Shoot them all. Let God sort them out. But according to George W. Bush
Mhm.
playbook, like, yo, immigration is a good thing for this country. Not even just them, but like but they also echoing this. Reagan echoed this. Not with MAGA. It's a whole different world with them. But hopefully, we get people in to wise up, just to wise up what's really going on. And stop, at very least, stop demonizing immigrants. You should
Yeah, I
stop.
agree with that.
They're helping out your business. They're washing these dishes. They are inventing things, right? They are contributing to the economy with taxes that they pay that they don't get the benefits for.
Mhm.
So you are winning at the end of the day. This is why you can have that mango and that orange when it's out of season. It ain't even in season. You have it because of the work that they put in for that joint. And they're not out here committing crime. They commit less crime than the general American population. They're making America better. They are actually helping to make America great again. If you're poor if you are struggling, if you are not middle class where you want to be, there's a lot of places that you could slap that blame. But it ain't on immigrants. When you had a hurricane happen in Florida, you go through North Carolina, it wasn't immigrants that was getting your money. They wasn't getting money instead of FEMA. FEMA was getting their bread.
Yeah, for sure.
It wasn't the immigrants that got freaking $350 to just get a bag of groceries. That's a whole separate part of the budget. They wasn't taking money out of FEMA to give to immigrants that caused you your suffering. People want to blame immigrants for everything. It ain't that. It ain't that, my guy. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
We talked about the Latino voters and the swing to the right and the immigration that's happening. And by the way, immigrants can't vote until they become citizens. Okay, and at that point, they are citizens. They might be of immigrant background,
Crazy
but
that
they
you
are
have to
citizens
actually
at that
even.
point.
Crazy
And
that you
to
have to
do
even say
that, you need at least 10 years. It's like 10 years to become a citizen. That bit is not a cakewalk.
Yeah.
It's not like they just hand them out
Yeah.
that you can vote. So all this talk about immigrants coming over so they can vote illegally. And by the way, yeah, suddenly now I thought the election was rigged and everything last time. Why am I not hearing anything more about the election being rigged?
I'm not hearing anything about that either.
Suddenly the Democrats don't know how to rig elections anymore.
Apparently, all
Apparently
the
not.
mechanisms have been set
Sounds
in
to me
place
like
where
it
it's
was
not being
all
rigged
cap. Sounds to me like it was all freaking cap. And Donald Trump perpetuated that until the election results came in. Because even when Pennsylvania was happening, he's like, "Oh, they're rigging into Pennsylvania."
Yeah.
Nigga, we voting right now. Wait a minute.
You just take the L, bro. Yeah. Yeah. I felt the same way about that back then. I was like, bro, you got to take the L, bro. You lost.
But suddenly now they don't know how to rig elections anymore. Why wouldn't you not rig it again, Democrats? What are you idiots? Dummies. What the fuck? Okay. That's it. Mission accomplished, man. We got another one in the books.
Yeah. Yeah, man. We appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Darn, now we had pretty spirited debate on a couple different things, but it is what it is. Voting season is always hot and heavy, and interesting to say the least. So we hope that you guys,
joint is over now, man. You just gotta look out for yours, man. Look out for your community. Look out for yours. Look out for your paper. You know what I'm saying?
And that honestly, that's the type of time I'm on, man. Like, because at the end of the day, ain't nobody coming to save you. So, like, you just gotta figure it out. So, yeah, man. So, quick housekeeping: like, comment, subscribe, man. I know y'all enjoyed the show. More informative for sure. Please be informed. If there's one thing you haven't learned from all that's been said today, just be informed, please. Please be informed. Like, comment, subscribe.
I know y'all asses finna be.
But
I know y'all asses finna be on them vibes though.
There's vibes. There's vibes.
I know. So, hopefully you vibed out with this episode. Like and subscribe.
For sure. Like and subscribe, man. At Another Challenge Day. That's us, man. At Another Challenge Day. Again, on every social media platform you like to frequent, subscribe to, and all that. So again, like, comment, subscribe. We need that traction, y'all. So help a brother out. But anyways,
and also speaking on vibes, check us out on the vibes. We got a whole playlist.
Oh yeah, for sure,
for sure. Hit up the vibes.
For sure. And let us know what y'all think about those vibes too, because there's gonna be some joints that we definitely think y'all gonna like. There's gonna be some joints that you might have different, you might be interested in, or you might not be interested in. I don't know. Just let us know what you think about it. That's what we want to know. So talk to us, we talk back. All right. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the show. And with that being said, man, stay safe, y'all.
Point la vue, changez de tempo.
It's challenge day.